President Trump. ABC's Jonathan Karl.
The president did an interview with the Financial Times, and he said that Benjamin Netanyahu would have to go along with whatever peace deal he gets with Iran. He won't have any choice. I call the shots. But despite all of that, Israel obviously went on and attacked Iran.
Ukraine saying Russian drones hit a nuke fuel storage facility. ABC's Ian Pannell in Moscow.
Ukraine made its presence felt, striking twice in a matter of 4 days there. We saw plumes of black smoke emerging over the St. Petersburg skyline. And then, of course, we've seen ongoing Russian strikes inside Ukraine.
2 people are sought in a weekend mass shooting in Toledo, Ohio. 12 people injured. An offshore 7.8 earthquake hit the southern Philippines today, killing at least 35. This is ABC News. Target is recalling Up & Up fragrance-free and Up & Up fresh cucumber-scented baby wipes linked to bacterial contamination that can be life-threatening. A hunt for whoever made off with 18 pallets of whiskey from a Pennsylvania storage facility last week.
There was a lot of Noble Oak bourbon being stored in a Philadelphia warehouse on Friday. It was supposed to go to locations in northern New Jersey. A couple of thieves had other plans.
They showed up at American Supply's warehouse. They said, hey, we're here for a pickup for A21. They didn't really know what it was.
A21 Wine and Spirits Chief Operating Officer Rob Koch stating the obvious, that the warehouse failed at some basic security measures. The booze still missing. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Growing worldwide, repair cafes, free events where volunteers with technical know-how help neighbors fix household items. They started in the Netherlands with a single cafe in 2009 and grew to a global nonprofit. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Like the Super Bowl every day, that's what law enforcement has to say about the World Cup. And boy, do they have a lineup in preparation for it. We'll give you that in just a moment. But first, Lori has your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. You've got a 25-minute drive, Seattle to Everett. Also 25 minutes, Bellevue to Everett. Eastbound 520, just a little sluggish as you pass Montlake. Southbound 5 into Seattle, just a little bit of a slowdown through the U District. Tacoma to Olympia, that's a half hour. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. 5 federal agencies, including the U.S. Secret Service, will collaborate with the local police to ensure a safe Seattle World Cup. We get the very latest from KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake.
The U.S. Coast Guard, FEMA, and the FBI are just a few of the agencies joining Seattle Police and Fire and the King County Sheriff's Department in ensuring World Cup security.
This is kind of unprecedented.
Trent Heinrichs is U.S. Secret Service Special Agent in charge of the Seattle field office.
No, it's basically a Super Bowl every match day.
Heinrich says when World Cup play opens in Seattle next Monday, fans will see enhanced security measures.
So magnetometers, canines, robust air security.
Specifically means no drones. Such devices are banned from the airspace above Lumen Field. In the Stadium District, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
Neighbors lined the streets in Longview to salute a solemn procession as police and fire vehicles escorted the bodies of 9 workers killed in the recent paper mill tank explosion. This attendee tells KGW-TV.
This is so devastating for the community, for the families. Words don't say enough.
The 9 victims returned home after undergoing autopsies in Seattle. And neighbors of crime-riddled Aurora Avenue North want North Seattle to hire hundreds more police officers. They staged a march Saturday night to protest rampant shootings and sex trafficking.
So you know what I ask from you? Get a hold of Mayor Wilson and say, yes, we need to achieve our goal by the end of this year, 1,258 officers.
Marchers complain the city has yet to meaningfully respond to their crisis. July 6th marked that day. It's the day Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg says the company will start bringing 737 MAX planes on its new assembly line in Everett. Boeing has been slowly ramping up production of the MAX since the FAA put a cap on it after the door plug incident in January of 2024. Ortberg tells CNBC.
We've made sure that we're not moving until the production system is stable. We're not pushing work down the production line like we were before.
Right now, Boeing is building 47 MAX jets per month. The goal is 52 per month sometime in 2027, eventually 63 per month. Now we're going to check your weather forecast, and it is January weather, high of just 63 degrees, rain off and on throughout the day. We're going to dry out tomorrow, supposedly, with a high of 61. It is 60 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Behold, a fiendish masterpiece from the bowels of hell! Mondays, for I hate Mondays. They make me so steamed. Weekends, I go for the weekends! Son of a
Welcome to the show. Happy Monday to you. Jake Skorheim here, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill. Spike, happy Monday.
Happy Monday, my brother.
Happy Monday. How was your weekend? Was it good?
It was glorious. We had a great weekend at our house. Great weekend.
Fantastic. Give me
right?
a quick recap. What is it? Share with our friends. Share with our friends. While Laura loads a video of my weekend.
Oh no!
I'll share it with you in the watching audience. If you guys want to get on YouTube, go to KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM or KIRO Radio app.
First off, I appreciate you guys covering for me on Friday. I did make a trip to the ear, nose, and throat guy, audiologist.
What were you doing Friday?
Audiologist. Our band had a gig Friday night. Right. I didn't take the day off so I could be rested for a gig, which was great. Nice gig, fun gig.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get ugly a bit for just a second? Can I share the dirty details of my life with the audience?
Yeah, as long as it's not a colon.
No, it was other end, by the way.
Other end. Okay.
Ear, nose, and throat.
Yeah.
That's a different doctor.
He starts going in that way. You're like, wait a minute, doc.
Whoa.
I don't know a lot about your profession.
It's
but
not for lack of looking.
This feels like the wrong place.
I had earwax. I had an earwax issue, and I swear it was so bad I couldn't hear.
This explains a lot about you.
Completely blocked. Completely blocked.
You're going to be like a new man.
It was
suddenly
that
common
moment.
sense will reign.
Yeah,
he's been deaf
it's
for
ironic.
years.
I couldn't hear anything in the right side of my head.
Really?
Yes, it was completely blocked.
Well, we'll see what happens.
It's going to be awesome.
Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah, but my kid had opening night. My kid's in his first professional, theater. He's a paid actor now.
Nice.
Start racking up those student. Come on, buddy, get that student loan money. I'm like, he's like, you know what I'm going to do with this money? I'm like, you're going to pay your student loans. What you going to do with that money?
Going on vacation.
Yeah, it was great. Just a great weekend. Yeah,
fantastic.
Yep.
It felt like a very long weekend. It was not. It was just a regular size weekend. But Saturday night, some dear friends, basically family, longtime neighbors, my parents' neighbors since, forever. They've lived next door to them for 30 years. Those people become like family.
Fred and Ethel to your Ricky and Lucy's. Yep.
100%. And so their daughter got married to a wonderful guy, great guy. And I've known this girl since she was a baby. I was, 7 years old or something when she was born.
Nice.
So I watched her grow up, and now I feel like a big brother to her.
Yeah,
and now I see her end up with a great guy. Her name is Janelle. His name is Ryan.
Magic.
Congratulations to the newlyweds.
Nice, beautiful.
He's a local firefighter.
There you go.
So this was a firefighter wedding. Every single person there who was a firefighter had a thick mustache, which I was very jealous about.
It's like when you buy the wedding photo, you know anybody in it. It's just such a good-looking group.
Just walk around. I can tell them, oh, you're a firefighter. How do you know? Because of your handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Really wonderful. The downside of a firefighter wedding was that, so it was in the evening. We had a sitter, so we had no kids there, and I imbibed a little too much.
It's okay.
A lot of fun. They had a tap.
Okay.
They had a old-fashioned tap.
Nice.
With old fashions. Just get as much as you want. And I'll tell you what, I did. And it was a problem. And so it was a lot of fun, but so Sunday for me was rough.
Oh, yeah.
Rough as it's ever been for a long time. So I might be taking a little pause.
It's okay.
On the celebrations.
Okay. Well, you know what? We don't bounce back like we used to.
This is a video. This is my sister sent this to me the next day. I don't have a huge recollection of this. This is my sister and I.
Oh, that's you?
In a big group of people.
You can move like that?
Well, all of my dancing I learned from Three Amigos.
That's right. I knew it looked familiar.
Oh
my God,
it's
perfect.
Yeah. So this
You're
was
a Hollywood choreographer now, my friend.
I could do
You
the
got
same.
the chops.
Yeah.
That's
for movies in the
great.
1980s.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Super fun night, but it was just like it got a little crazy, and but really fun, and it's always fun to celebrate new love, and
It really is. Isn't that a great moment to be around?
Yeah. So
When you
congrats
see
to
someone
Ryan and
pick-
Janelle and their great families.
Wonderful.
Very exciting. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
I got some catching up to do.
We got a lot of stuff in the news. You missed some Katie Wilson stuff last week, which was a lot of fun.
I saw it. I saw it.
She's turning on the cameras.
Beaming ear to ear. I called it.
Which you said. You sent a text as soon as that news came out.
I told ya.
Were you in the doctor's chair? Was he literally poking you in
That's
the
the
ear?
first thing I heard.
Or the rear
was
end?
The cameras were going up. I was already out. I had a morning appointment. I was already out by that point in time. I was actually waiting on a ferry. I was actually, out there with the general population in a ferry line on a Friday.
Hold up. I got to ask because I'm in the news business.
Sure.
What time was your appointment?
11 o'clock.
What time's the show?
12.
What time are you out?
Of the doctor?
Yeah.
About 12:02.
Okay. I think your story's changed a little
Not
bit.
at all.
A little bit. Whatever. Let's move along. Totally get it. So
I didn't know it was going to work.
You heard the news Friday.
I heard the news Friday.
She's turning the cameras back on.
Yeah.
She's now cited credible evidence because she's actually talked to experts.
She got herself a little on-ramp. Or an off-ramp, I should say. She got herself an off-ramp.
A Friday off-ramp.
Yeah, she totally did.
Which is where you bury news that you don't want.
Yep, take out the trash.
About.
You betcha. Take it out. Stuff nobody reads.
You said she would do this. I was skeptical that she would end up doing it, but you said she's going to give in, and at some point she's going to have to do it.
And I really think that local and federal agencies got a meeting with the mayor, sat the mayor down, and said, "Look, Your Honor, we're trying to help you save face here."
Yeah.
And some of the conversations we've had about the risk that she was willing to put on the table, the consequences, the likely consequences of a worst case scenario, the path she was taking was chaos.
Just
horrendous consequences.
Not good.
Potential disaster.
Yeah.
And she saw the light, and was said, "Look,
it's good.
You tell them blame it on us, or say we got together, we showed you some things you hadn't seen before."
Sure.
It's
funny how they're just basically saying the same thing that literally everyone else was saying. They're like, "How could you not? You got to do it to be safe."
Common
sense.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So that's good news. You also probably saw then that a couple other things to be excited about locally here. We want to get you rolling on a happy note.
It's great Mondays.
For the next 6 weeks, we can all look forward and we can celebrate that our state will be run in a mostly common sense way because World Cup is in town, which means that there's a spotlight on everything local. So what they're going to do is they're going to work real hard to make sure everything is run in ship shape. We got the I-5 express lanes that are open. This is how I felt this morning. Did you take I-5 this morning?
I took it twice. I got here. I went back home and took it again.
Just to feel the feeling of having an open
still
road.
Got here on time.
Yes.
It was awesome.
It was unbelievable. So I've been leaving my house super early, and I get on the road, and it's like I drive under the sign that I normally drive under that says 75 minutes to downtown Seattle.
Yeah.
It said 35 minutes. 35 minutes. And then I get there, and the express lanes are wide open, north to south, which they usually are. This is the time of the morning that I take.
Common sense would dictate they are.
Common sense, but they've been closed going one way during the Revive I-5 stuff, but they're open right now, and this is how I felt. Free! Free! I was so thrilled. It was just smooth. I didn't drop below 55 once.
It's amazing the way the world is off your shoulders.
It is.
It was amazing. Did you get here early enough to gather the eggs from John Curley's chicken coops? I know when you get here super early, you do that for them.
Sometimes I pick up the eggs. Yeah. And
nice.
I refrigerate them for them, even though you actually don't need to refrigerate fresh eggs.
You're a good neighbor.
For a long time. I don't know if you knew that.
No, it's after they put all that doctor stuff, pasteurization or whatever.
Yep. And it pierces that membrane around the egg. You don't want to do that.
Nothing good happens after that.
Here's the other thing that's happening that people can be very excited about. Washington State Ferries, they've made this announcement. I'm conflicted about this one. I wrote an article about this today. You guys can check it out at mynorthwest.com. I feel like WashDOT and the Washington State Ferry System, they want, which is inside WashDOT, right? Doesn't that operate under WashDOT?
Yeah. That's a WashDOT, yeah.
Okay. Do they want a high five for doing their job? Is that what they want? They want a high five for doing what they're supposed to do?
It feels that way.
It feels that way.
Hey, guys, guess what we're doing? Just for them.
We're going to get the vessels up and running.
Not for you.
Yeah.
Just for them.
For the tourists.
We do it all for them.
Not the taxpayers. Screw
Right?
you guys. Tourists? Yes. Very excited about them. 20 of 21 vessels are going to have up and running, they claim. They're also going to have extra staff.
Extra crews.
Just
Yeah.
in case. Where was this the last few years? What happened? Why won't they just admit that they were screwing it up? And then going forward, here's the problem. For the next 6 weeks, we can enjoy this. But for the next 6 weeks, we get to see how it should actually be run all the time. So what are they going to do as soon as the spotlight goes away?
Lay some folks off and throw a couple wrenches into the gearbox.
Is that
I don't know. Why wouldn't they be able to maintain? That's a great question.
Yes.
Again, common sense. Theme of the day. If you're able to get 20 boats in the water and extra crews to run for the next 5-6 weeks,
Yep.
Why don't you just say we fixed it and it's better now and here we go?
Here's
what you've been paying taxes for.
This is speaking to Seattle Times. This is the Washington State Ferry's Director of Vessel Engineering. He says, we're heading to a very busy summer. We expect a big increase in travel across our system. This plan should help reduce cancellations and service gaps with unexpected events. And what he's talking about is not only getting the 20 of 21 vessels up and running and ready to go, which apparently was just a maintenance issue. If you just have them up and running and have things prepared to go, then you can use them.
You can use the boats, not have to cancel anything.
But the other thing is the extra crew, which they're going to have on hand and ready to make sure that none of these sailings, because all these sailings canceled. Very oftentimes, even though we have a very old ferry system,
60
very
years
old boats,
plus beyond life expectancy.
some of them, not all of them, some of them, but a lot of them were built in the 90s and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, he's saying that they're going to have all this extra crew and they should just keep this going. I think we should expect them to keep it going, and we should hold their feet to the fire if they don't keep it going. I fully do not expect them to keep it going, though. I think July, what's the last game in town? It's July 16th? I think it's the round of 16.
Yeah, I believe it is.
July 17th, 5 boats are going to break down.
That's right.
That's what's going to happen.
And in dozens of layoffs.
Or they'll just mysteriously, there will be no staff
There
available.
is no budget for this.
I don't know what happened, folks. It's just not going to be available.
The rationale was we don't want a ferry schedule to be the reason someone misses a match. It's okay. It's the reason someone misses work.
Yeah.
Someone misses an event, a vacation. That's okay.
But not a match. What boat were you taking this weekend?
It was
Edmonds Kingston.
Edmonds Kingston, yeah.
Okay.
Edmonds Kingston.
How long do you have to wait for that? Very long. You were on a Friday. That could be a dicey day.
It can, but since I wasn't at work, I was able to catch.
But don't forget, you weren't sick. You were at a doctor's
I was at a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, that's right.
I was able to catch the 1:30 boat. I went from my doctor's office right into the ferry line. I had literally, I didn't have to wait for a boat.
Just drove right on.
I got right in the 4-lane stack up there, past the toll booths, and I was on that first boat, out and about.
On the flip side of things, is there any better feeling than for a local here than arriving at a sailing that you assume is going to happen, and then being like the last car on?
Oh, that's
last car on.
That is, yeah.
Do you not feel like it's your lucky day?
That's
it's
a
like
gift.
You feel like
Yeah.
Wonka. It's like your golden ticket day. Everything's going to go your way.
In fact, the last car, because they know when to cut it off.
Yeah.
There's a little sign in the window that says the boat you're buying for will be blank.
Yes.
The last one should get a golden ticket.
They should say, here you go.
Here you go.
That would be a funny
The
thing if
last
they
car
start.
on.
That's a great idea. They should start making that a thing, and then everyone will be very excited.
It'd be great.
I mean, you're
Anything
already
you
very
can-
excited.
Anything you can to, I mean, you're getting on the boat.
Yeah, if you're on, that's great. But if you're the last car on, I have been a couple of times because we take it all the time. We're on this all the time. I've been a couple of times where you get into that lane and you watch them as they're loading 2 lanes, 2 lanes, 2 lanes, and then they go down to 1 lane, and then they pause, and then they wait, and you see the guy with the clicker, and you're just sitting there with your foot on the gas, and you're waiting, and you're like, I'm telling my kids, I'm like, strap in, kids, we got to be ready at a moment's notice to go.
Yes.
And then you just wait, and then they wave a car through, pause.
Because they're tightening up the ranks inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're watching to see where everybody's going to go.
Yep.
And then you see that final car come on, and it's like, it's a magical feeling.
Would you be willing to have 2 cars side by side competing for the last spot on the boat?
Oh, racing towards it?
Like a tree, red, yellow, green. One guy gets wet, one guy gets to the peninsula.
Okay, as a walk-on passenger watching, yes. As a driver, I know that I would compete for it, and I know that there's a likelihood that somebody's got a faster car than I do.
How about this? The ferries, they're in financial trouble, right? They're always in budgetary crisis, right?
Always, yeah.
Okay. How about dynamic pricing for the last two cars? Who wants it more?
It's just a bidding system.
The last two, there's one spot left. We got the next two guys side by side. Who wants it more?
Or make it
dynamic pricing.
Well, because it's taxpayer dollars, maybe not. I would say maybe make it like a trivia game.
Oh,
where,
okay.
Like, everybody windows down.
Yeah.
And then you have to answer trivia
who
to
deserves
decide
to go.
who deserves to go. And you could answer Washington State Ferry trivia if you want.
Make it fun for the kids.
Yeah. You could be like, what's the average size of a super capacity boat? Like if you're within 10 cars, like a Price is Right situation.
Right.
Then you get it. And if you both hit the number, then.
What sailor's tribe gave the name for the boat that runs between?
What was the line called before it was the Washington State Ferry system?
They're making merch. They're making merch.
Yeah.
They want it to be fun.
Yeah.
They want us to know.
Yeah, you see they're selling the thing now? The plastic tub that you can get at the Mariners game? Now
you can get them on the boats?
Now you can get them on the boats. Washington State Ferry's posted about it.
How'd the Mariners let that go? That was a gold mine. That was a treasure.
I think it was in partnership with Washington State Ferry, so it was eventually going to get to them.
Okay.
Now it's sold out with the Mariners all the time.
Yeah.
It's still very popular.
Yep.
But Washington State Ferry.
I don't know if I told you this. I shared this with the audience when I found out. All of because those food ferry boats.
You bought one.
I bought a couple.
Yeah.
And I gave one to a friend of mine who lives in London, born and raised here, but now lives in London.
Sweet.
He was in town this weekend. Got to have dinner with him. I gave him one. I gave him one of those ferry boats to take home to London. Little splash to Seattle.
You said now it'll always be on time.
There you go.
Ironically, the ones you can buy through Washington State Ferry system, they're going to have to be canceled. Those orders will be canceled. You're not going to be able to get them. Just joking. They'll probably be there.
But I was saying, they're available at limited spaces within T-Mobile Park.
The
ferry boat food containers. Yeah. Any usher has a map and can tell you exactly where on your concourse to go for the closest available vendor that has a ferry boat.
Popular.
Yeah, they are. They're crazy.
It's insane.
It's crazy popular.
I was doing this in the research, talking about these ferries, and then we'll move on to other things here at the end of this segment. But I saw this, which I was still confused by, and I don't think this is a good idea. We're going to talk a little bit about the Washington State budget next hour. Mm-hmm. The Office of Financial Management came out and they said, "Hey, we got a budget projection.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Bad news.
Not looking good.
Not gonna. No spoilers."
I mean, anybody could assume
What do
that.
you think, folks?
Are you excited?
Show of hands.
But here, listen to this. In this article here, which I believe was from Seattle Times, Ferguson has said that he's staying the course with electrification on these boats, a $6.2 billion endeavor that includes building 16 new hybrid electric vessels and adding charging stations to 16 terminals. The first new boat won't be delivered until 2030 at the earliest. I think it's a mistake for him to say that he's staying the course on those boats, given the tenuous situation that the ferry system finds themselves in. You're talking about like 60-year-old boats. You are making a massive bet on a Jay Inslee legacy project, which is to make all these boats hybrid or electric, that we don't know how it's going to pan out. And they're having to, they don't even build them local here. They're going to have to go to Florida.
Right, because while it'd be nice to offer this contract to a local vendor,
for local jobs, wouldn't that be nice?
There isn't a local builder of electrified ferries. We had to go to the other side of the country.
But we do have local builders of regular ferry boats.
Right, and when we saw the first one come in late and over budget, I mean, like multiple times over the hybrid boat. Yeah. And you had that moment. Hey, do we still keep chasing this? But is it two more or three more?
They want to do 3 new boats for $714 million. Now, there's just no way in HE double hockey sticks they're going to bring it in at that cost. The new one that was converted to hybrid electric, not new, the one from the 1990s. What was it? Was it the Spokane or the which is the one that just recently came back online?
I'm not certain from memory, but the one that they electrified to make it a hybrid boat.
They made it a hybrid.
The one that's actually in the water and will be available for World Cup fans.
Do you know the name of it?
I think it's the Wenatchee.
The Wenatchee.
Okay,
the Wenatchee.
Yep.
That one ate up their entire budget that they had set out for converting. Was it 2 or 3?
I think it was 3 total.
It was 3.
Yeah.
Just hybriding that one ate up their entire budget. So the idea they're going to be able to build 3 brand new boats at $714 million, I would be shocked.
Well, because everything's getting cheaper as we move forward, right? Every schedule's getting closer to on time, and everything's getting cheaper. Labor's going down, parts are going down.
Projection,
right?
Inflation,
Why
no worries about
wouldn't
that.
Just stay the course.
So the idea that they're going to spend $6.2 billion, commit $6.2 billion to building 16 new hybrid electric vessels. Let's not kid ourselves. Why don't we get some in the water that we know work and that have worked for 60 years? And when you feel confident that you don't have to worry about those breaking down for another 30 years, you want to make a little investment into the future? Fine by me.
Well, maybe on the way, lately we've found and uncovered a lot of waste, a lot of mismanagement in state and local budgets.
Sure.
Maybe since the lights are on, maybe we thinks he can bring things in on schedule now, on budget now. Maybe since the game is over.
Here's the problem I would say with that. Listen to us at 1 o'clock. The Office of Financial Management is saying that all of the new taxes brought in, all of that stuff, you've not balanced the budget. It's even in worse shape heading into the next biennium. That's going to be a big problem. So why would we
quote
believe
the budget director, zoinks?
Yeah. So why would we believe them about these ferries? Like, they're just not good at estimating these things.
No.
Anyway, enjoy the roads and the ferry boats for the next 6 weeks while we got them up and running as they should be.
They're safer than North Aurora.
Oh,
how about that?
That's a good tease.
Yeah.
Should we do that next?
Yeah.
People are marching in the streets?
Yeah.
All right, we'll tell you about what.
Not everybody.
Not everyone.
But some neighbors.
We'll tell you about it. Come back. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up.
With Mariners value games, you can score tickets under $12 on select dates all summer, including June 16th through 18th against the Orioles. Plus, on Thursday the 18th, the first 15,000 fans will take home a Mariners Stars and Stripes soccer jersey thanks to Alaska Airlines. Get your tickets today at mariners.com. That's mariners.com.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the 4 walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left? I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that? My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need hair volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, hair volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with hair volume.
Since taking hair volume, the shedding has all but stopped. Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine. My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using hair volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Tune in to elevate your wealth.
If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. The president is reassuring the world that Israel and Iran are on track towards a ceasefire again after they traded missile strikes over the weekend. Here's ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers on those efforts.
He has said last week that he thought that there could be an agreement announced by this past weekend. That, of course, did not happen. The president continues to say that negotiations are in the final stage, that they're getting close to a deal. But we have heard that for weeks now from the president without any meaningful progress or getting a deal actually agreed to and announced publicly.
An update on the war in Ukraine, where a Russian drone strike is said to have hit a nuclear storage facility near Chernobyl. Officials say radiation levels at the site are stable but being monitored. Ukraine is responding with its own drone strikes. A 44-year-old Iranian citizen has pleaded guilty in Seattle to smuggling U.S. military technology, including sonar systems, to Iran. Prosecutors say Reza Dindar used a China-based company to hide the shipments between 2010 and 2014. He faces decades in prison. Sentencing is set for August 28th. Another business mogul has left the Northwest. Zillow founder Rich Barton says he's now living in Las Vegas. On X, he says it's a new chapter after becoming an empty nester. According to the Seattle Times, he will remain Zillow's co-executive chair. It's a busy season for search and rescue teams in Seattle and King County, and crews say too many hikers are heading out unprepared. 40 rescues have already happened this year, including multiple helicopter missions. Pilot Tony Molinax warns even a simple injury can turn dangerous quickly.
That can quickly become life-threatening because you're stuck. You're not going anywhere without someone's help.
Officials say preparation can make the difference between a close call and a rescue. Now we're going to check traffic with Lori. What do we have, Lori?
Thanks, Jillian. Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. 509 at Occidental Avenue. Look out for a collision. That was just partly blocking the ramp. South Center to Alderwood, you've got a 30-minute drive, whether you're on I-5 or 405. Now going in the reverse direction, South Alderwood to South Center, 29 minutes on I-5, but 35 minutes if you take 405. A 25-minute, though, drive if you're heading just from Seattle to Everett. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Rain increasing throughout the afternoon. Showers early tomorrow with cloudy conditions later in the day. A high of 62 today and tomorrow. It is 60 degrees in downtown Seattle right now. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Over the weekend, Lots of stuff happened locally here in Seattle. If you do live in Seattle, if you live in one of the surrounding areas up in Snohomish County, or if you live in Pierce County, you've probably heard that there are spots in Seattle, specifically on Aurora Avenue, that are fairly frequented by violence, shootings, prostitutes, pimps.
The word pimp war. We're accurately using the word pimp war to describe a neighborhood in Seattle.
Hashtag pimp war summer. Ooh. Is that a thing that people are doing? No, probably not. Are they hashtagging things anymore? I don't think so.
Make Kevlar. Hashtag pimp war summer.
Pimp war summer.
And all those fun summer colors.
Yes.
It's horrible that we have to make these jokes, but it's the only way you can survive without screaming.
Well, it seems like an easily fixable problem, but they're not fixing it. And so the residents in Aurora are actually... They're marching in the streets. They've actually gone out and marched in the street. This was Saturday night. A bunch of people decided to get together to march for safety. Was this called the March for Peace? Is that what it was called? March for Peace?
Yeah.
I'm going to play you a cut of one of the organizers, a guy by the name of Peter Orr. I think we've played audio of him on the show before. But he's a local Aurora Avenue resident.
He's a neighbor. He's a homeowner.
He's one of the neighbors. Yes. He's a homeowner. He's also had bullets fly at and in his house. And he talked to KIRO 7 about it. There were some people who weren't there that are very interesting. Let me play you this clip real fast from Peter Orr, KIRO 7.
Sunday morning, I woke up 5:58 a.m. to 6 gunshots. Right back up in the neighborhood, right up the street. It's just opened the neighborhood to more pimp gunfire on the taxpayer dime. When it's a matter of bullets on the nightly is a time crunch. I'm not gonna sit by and wait for a neighbor to be shot in the middle of the night. I'm gonna do something.
So one of the things he did was he took his complaints directly to Mayor Wilson, did not get the response that he wanted.
What is your response as a city leader when you hear that?
Totally. No, I mean, I think I totally understand the deep frustration of residents in North Aurora. We're going to be working with that with council, right? As you might know, there's legislation that council members are proposing that would allow us to do more permanent barriers as a safety measure. So we're going to work on that.
Is this an urgent issue to you in your office?
Absolutely. I mean, I think public safety in our neighborhoods is always an urgent issue.
What was the thing that they suggested when the neighbors went in, had to, put in these vigilante barriers?
Yeah.
That then were promptly taken down by Seattle.
Because that was deemed unacceptable by the mayor because of emergency vehicle access requirements.
Pimp wars, not so much. Yeah. Emergency barriers that these people were putting up themselves. Yeah, get rid of those. But they did say that they were going to do
speed humps,
speed humps and a study.
Traffic dimming or traffic dulling, flow diminishing. There's a verbiage that's escaping me at the moment. They were trying to slow down the access of the armed vehicles by making kind of like a pinch and a slalom course.
Sure.
So it wasn't just a straightaway. It didn't prohibit any cars from getting through. It didn't.
As long as you have a steering wheel that goes both left and right, you should have it covered.
Yeah, basic. The problem is these vehicles do this loop now.
Yeah.
And this stems from, for a minute of backtracking, they used to monitor and arrest both prostitution and solicitation on Aurora Avenue. There were these, your tag number is being recorded, you soliciting prostitution on Aurora.
Yeah.
City stopped doing that for any number of bad reasons. So now these customers and managers, pimps, of this prostitution/human trafficking operation, they make the lazy loop down Aurora, up a side street, a block west of Aurora, pull over for services, if you will, and then, come back to Aurora and drop off and pick up again. The ladies of the evening, the workers do it, sex workers do it, the customers do it, the pimps do it. So that little slow down slalom course doesn't prevent any of that stuff from happening in residential streets where people own homes.
So then these pimps and johns end up in these otherwise quiet neighborhoods.
Yeah. That's where they're doing business. Couple that with the fact that all these little motels that used to populate Aurora Avenue, and they were eliminated because they turned into 10-minute hotel rooms. Yeah. So they got rid of those, but you got rid of that, but you didn't get rid of the problem.
Sure.
The problem still exists. So now this problem has migrated to the neighborhood streets.
And now they're battling over who owns what streets.
Exactly.
And where your prostitute can go and which pimp covers which area.
Who's going to earn on that turf. It's a turf war.
Okay. So now people are so upset about this, they're actually marching in the streets.
After a couple of years of inactivity from the city, no response from the city, no addressing the issue from the city.
Katie Wilson was not at this march, which people have definitely noticed. Here's a little bit on that.
I think it's unfortunate that she's not able to be here, but I think the message needs to be to her office that we're ready to see a concrete action plan.
We're really out here demanding action. It's as simple as that, from King County, from the city of Seattle, and from the state at this point, because it's really scary.
What's interesting about this is so many issues these days, people tend to want to, try to find like a partisan divide. This to me doesn't seem like there's any partisan side to this issue. This is just people who are okay with pimps and prostitutes running around doing everything that they're doing and firing bullets. And then everyone else, who's the mass majority of people, saying, this is crazy that you guys are not just enforcing laws that you already have on the books. It doesn't require a giant Seattle City Council study. It doesn't require weeks and weeks of a committee looking into things. You could just start arresting people for the illegal stuff,
right?
And that would immediately help.
We've had studies. We've had all kind of. We got the impact study or the proposals that have been put forth by the city, the Aurora Corridor Planning Study, Phase 1, concept evaluation. I think they're getting paid by the page. This 348 page, 250. I apologize. So 254 page study and report that was issued by the city in April.
So this was done. There have been. So the fair criticism of this study is that the city's focusing on. I read into this a little bit, and I tried to get a summary of like what they're actually talking about.
Yeah.
So this was in April of 2025. So April of last year.
Yes.
And this study really is more the purpose of that study was more about how do we make these neighborhoods more accessible for various things, bikes, buses, all these different things. But as they were having these discussions, people in the neighborhoods, because this is the only time that this committee was meeting, they would come into these meetings and be like, guys, we also need to be focusing on the pimps and prostitutes.
Violent crime.
The violent crime. Like if you're going to make these areas more accessible to people, we don't want it more accessible for pimps and prostitutes. In fact, we want it less accessible. So whatever you're doing, make sure that it also has plans for preventing this problem that we're running into.
How about Phase 2, the arresting criminal concept evaluation? Maybe that's Phase 2.
That would be great.
We'll help them along with this.
Yeah,
we'll give them a little focus on this.
There are people who are showing up to these things. Bob Kettle was there. I think actually Erica Evans, Seattle City Attorney, was actually there.
Yeah, it's funny because just about everybody was there except the mayor of Seattle.
Except Katie Wilson.
Representatives of the mayor's office.
Maybe her husband was baking some new bread she needed to try.
Well, let's. You can only be in one place at one time. I don't know what the mayor's schedule looked like. Maybe there was something else going on Saturday night that she couldn't be in.
Maybe she was at a wedding like
two places at one time.
I have no idea.
Maybe there's a ribbon cutting in a new tiny host village. Who knows?
Maybe.
Right? Maybe there's another toilet paper $400,000 bathroom she had to open up. Crack a bottle of whatever across the nose of and wish it well.
You really did get your ears cleared out.
I did.
I'm loving what I'm hearing.
Thank you, brother. I mean, come on, Your Honor.
There's just easy things. Like a person like Katie Wilson right now, she's looking for layups because she has already stumbled out of the starting blocks.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I'm like conflicting my sports analogies, but she really has a great opportunity for easy points. Show up at the stupid March for Peace that shouldn't even have to exist but needs to because of inaction and say, you know what? We're going to prioritize safety over pimps. That's a simple phrase. She could say that. She could actually hold up a sign that says safety over pimps. Everyone go like, hey, look, they're going to do something.
Wow,
That's nice.
That would go a long way.
It would go a long way. Safety over streetwalkers, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas here. So she should do that. And she should also be making sure that the city has the cameras on, which she did on Friday. Maybe she was like recovering from having to admit that she was wrong about that. And she just couldn't bear to take another loss by showing up to the crime, March for Peace on Saturday.
So. By the way, go to mynorthwest.com. There's a list of demands that the neighbors put together for the city. We didn't have a chance to get into that.
Totally reasonable demands.
Tell me what's unreasonable about this list of demands.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, very good. All right, we'll get into that more later. When we come back, okay, I'm going to read you this headline, and I predict that you're going to hate this, and then I'm going to love it.
Okay.
But you got your ears cleared out, so I might be wrong about this. This next story, stick around. We'll get back to it when we come back.
KIRO Newsradio is honored to be the recipient of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence and Excellence in Writing.
We can't let hatred become the air we breathe.
it poisons us all. Our strength is in unity. We thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see. They know. They hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS4KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to cars4kids.org now or call 877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Summer's a busy time for businesses. WaFd bank accounts are designed to work with business owners like you. Stay on top of every dollar. helping manage cash flow, pay vendors, and keep operations running smoothly. Get access to digital tools to simplify banking, like bill pay, signer and non-signer debit cards, and the option to upgrade your account as your business grows. Plus, our business bankers get to know you, so when you need help, we're there. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com, member FDIC.
Take me out to big trees, take me to see the leaves. Privacy screens and evergreens, you already know they have thousands of trees.
Big Trees for tree sales and transplants. Find Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer. Your local Bryant dealer can make sure your system is up to the task. Whether it's maintaining your current system or installing an energy-efficient Bryant Evolution cooling system with perfect Humidity Plus technology, your dealer will give you what you need to help your family beat the heat. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at BryantNorthwest.com. That's BryantNorthwest.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike and I oftentimes disagree on things. I don't know where you're going to come down on this one. I saw this story about these new condos going in. They're not for people, though. I mean, they are for people in a roundabout way, but they're not to live in. These are basically like billionaire, millionaire storage units for the toys that billionaires and millionaires have.
What?
Yes.
Where?
In Seattle.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
On Salmon Bay. You know where Salmon Bay is?
Of course, that's a working waterfront, Salmon Bay.
There you go.
One of the largest concrete companies in Seattle is Salmon Bay Concrete. You see the trucks all over town.
There's a new extravagant collector car garage, extravagant collector garage, and super yacht marina private community going in called Terminal 1 Motor Plus Yacht Club. This sounds awesome. I'm going to read you some of these details. Seattle Times said this. The garage spaces will range in size from approximately 850 to 1,250 square feet and have nearly 20-foot ceilings. Did you see the artist rendition of what these are going to look like?
I'm looking at this. Look at this.
It's like Tony Stark's garage. It looks phenomenal. And in that picture, I think they have like a GTO and maybe a Jaguar XKE.
That's an old Jag.
Yeah.
That's the old 12-cylinder, lift the hood up Jag, classic Jag.
My father-in-law had that car. Oh, my God. Yeah. I think it was a 67. I could be wrong about that, but it's just a beautiful car. Overheated all the time, though. So the condos will start around, and again, they're calling them condos, which is confusing because it makes it sound like somebody would live in them. They're just big garages. They'll start at about $600,000. Some will be above $1 million, and they're beautiful, and they're for you to store your awesome cars. So if you're like a super wealthy guy or gal and you're living locally,
all your toys, yes.
You want to keep all your toys there. Like let's say you want to have a spot both for your super nice Ferrari and also your yacht.
What do they call those cars? McLarens? What do they call those cars?
Yeah, like a McLaren.
McLaren, right? You get off your 325-foot Uber yacht.
Yeah.
Or your 315-foot side job or sidecar, whatever you call it.
Sure, whatever your follow-on yacht is, like Zuckerberg has.
Your support yacht.
Yes.
And you want to climb in your McLaren or maybe your Jag.
Yeah.
And it's right there, conveniently located down in Salmon Bay.
Yeah. Do you like this idea? Do you not like it? I love it. I think it's great.
I am troubled by the fact that a working waterfront is being displaced by this, and maybe that's just a sign of the times.
Well, I mean, it was an empty lot. They bought
okay.
They bought the lot.
Okay, then that's
back in 2020.
Because this is an industrial part of town.
Yeah,
this is the business. This is the business end of Ballard.
So the property was purchased on the Salmon Bay waterfront. Was purchased by this group in 2020 for $5.6 million. Now, if you remember the 2020s, you could buy things at a good price.
Money was free.
They saw down the road. They looked down the road. They said, "Hey, you know what? This property is going to climb back in value someday. We can build something here." So they bought it for $5.6 million, $14 million under its assessed value, according to the Seattle Times. But value is whatever somebody's willing to pay for it.
That's right.
So if somebody's only willing to pay $5.6 million and nobody else wants to buy it, and the seller wants to sell it, that's what it's worth. And then they're going to build this phenomenal looking facility on it.
Wow.
Which, sounds pretty good to me.
So let me ask you this: Are they chasing rainbows here? Or, I mean, because all we hear about every week, we get new stories.
Yeah, about the rich leaving.
About another company picking up stakes and moving to greener tax pastures.
Yeah. We'll talk about this in a little bit. Zillow founder, Rich Barton.
New story
Speaking
today.
Of Rich,
right?
Rich Barton is leaving.
Are there going to be enough billionaires around to sell these $600 to over $1 million fun condos?
That is a good question.
Toy condos?
There's going to be 100 of these spaces available. Can they fill 100 spaces with this?
Is this them? You know what? I tell you what, people with money know more than I do. That's one thing I learned early in life. Rich guys got there usually for a reason.
Yeah, it's not by accident.
Right?
Usually.
Not by accident. They made their millions. They made their way to success.
Yeah.
Maybe they have more faith in the financial future of Seattle than those of us who don't travel in those circles.
It's possible. I mean, you could also there could be just a bunch of people who feel like, hey, you know what?
A lot of rich people in this town, buddy. A lot of them. Maybe they're not all moving, is what I'm saying.
That's possible. I guarantee you there's some ideologues who are happy to pay more in taxes. Yeah. I would not be one. If I was going to be directly affected by the millionaire tax, I mean, we all will be in a certain way because that's how it works. And eventually we won't be millionaires. It'll come down for all of us. But I would not keep my money here. I would list my residence at least for half the year in another state.
Sure.
If I was going to be
domicile. I learned what the word domicile meant this year because of these stories.
You know, there's apps for that. You can actually have an app that will track your geolocation to make sure that you haven't spent too much time in one state for tax reasons.
It's called getoutofdodge.com.
It's basically like that. Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
That you're so rich you have to have an app that lets you know, like, hey, have you technically spent more time out of the state than in the state?
Early taxation warning system. That's
yes.
great. a little casher ching goes off.
Yes.
State's making money. Time to pick up.
Anyway, if you feel like buying one of these things,
look at these things.
It is so choice. If you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up.
I can't afford the wall decorations in this joint.
It's very pricey.
Wow, that's gorgeous. Good for them.
Good
man.
for them.
And thanks for the faith in our future.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Good for you guys.
Yeah.
And hopefully the unconstitutional millionaire tax gets shut down and people
hey man, November's
purchase
coming,
one of these
buddy.
places.
Them signatures in today. They're getting more every day.
$600,000 doesn't seem crazy to me. That seems like kind of a sweet deal. You're going to rub elbows with all the rich and famous?
If you want to be if you want to be rich, then if you want to be successful, stand with successful people.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We're going to talk about the projected budget of Washington. Not looking great. I'll tell you about it next. Stick around.
KIRO Newsradio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver. From New Nordic, search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. With excitement high ahead of tonight's third game of the NBA Final in New York, the Knicks watch party outside Madison Square Garden is being moved. This because President Trump is planning to attend the game, says the NYPD. Matt McCool with the Secret Service.
You will see Secret Service, police, and special agents, transportation security officers, federal air marshals, and the NYPD officers throughout the area.
The Knicks lead the series 2-0 for the San Antonio Spurs. An 18-year-old has been taken into custody for questioning, police say, in the mass shooting over the weekend in Toledo, Ohio. 12 people were injured. 2 people have life-threatening injuries after a shooting at Kaiser Medical offices in San Jose, California, police say. President Trump trying to keep his ceasefire negotiations with Iran from collapsing. Iran and Israel say they have stopped attacks since Trump talked to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This is ABC News. Border czar Tom Homan telling TV interviewers today that he intends to send more ICE agents to New York City due to what he calls a lack of local cooperation. New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani.
I want to be very clear about the fact that I believe that ICE raids are cruel, they are inhumane, they do nothing to serve in the interests of public safety. I've shared that directly with the president. I've shared that in public.
FIFA World Cup gets underway this week in 16 cities across North America. The highly anticipated soccer tournament is expected to draw up to 7 million visitors to the U.S. ABC's Alex Stone in Los Angeles was asked about the potential economic impact.
FIFA has said $17 billion will be brought in gross domestic product. But you look at some of the numbers we heard from Atlanta today, 226,000 hotel rooms were booked during the World Cup. Last year, with no World Cup, it was 320,000 hotel rooms during that same period without this going on.
Our Alex Stone in L.A., Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Law enforcement giving their plan to protect people during the FIFA World Cup. We'll have that in just a moment. But first, Lori has your KIRO News Radio traffic.
Traffic is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio app. Still have this problem, 509 at Occidental Avenue. It's blocking the ramp. 525, I'm seeing a little bit of a slowdown between 99 and 526. So right there as you're heading towards 526 is where it really jams up. US 2 slows both directions through Monroe, Federal Way to Seattle, a 24-minute drive. That's about a 1-minute delay. Linwood to Seattle, a 3-minute slowdown, an 18-minute drive. And if you're heading Linwood to Bellevue, that's 17 minutes. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. If a threat to public safety emerges during Seattle World Cup matches, it may come from above. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake reports multiple agencies are stressing their drone readiness.
It may not be the top World Cup safety concern, but local and federal public safety agencies are talking about
dangerous drones,
unmanned aircraft.
This is a no-drone zone.
Why the emphasis on drones?
Drones are capable of carrying payloads.
Trent Heinrichs is with the U.S. Secret Service.
When we're talking about payloads, it's potentially explosives. That's a possibility. For the safety of everyone, it's best to have those temporary flight restrictions in place.
Those multiple agencies also say they are coordinating to handle fires, mass casualty events, and other threats they fervently hope will never emerge. In the Stadium District, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
Also just in time for the World Cup, Renton police have new body cameras that can perform real-time audio translations.
Language set to Spanish.
Hello, I'm Officer Vanderhook with the Renton Police. How can I help you?
Hola, soy el oficial Vanderhook del Departamento de Policía de Renton. ¿En qué puedo ayudarle?
Pretty amazing. That software can translate 56 languages. A new initiative to bolster gun safety in Pierce County. A $300,000 plan will expand outreach and distribute 1,500 biometric lock boxes through the local health department. The expansion comes after community discussions raised concerns about rising firearm thefts and their role in gun violence. Not dead quite yet, but local leaders are not satisfied with the plan to fix King County's Regional Homelessness Authority. KIRO News Radio's Aaron Granello joins me live for an update.
Yeah, Jillian, we just received separate statements from Seattle's mayor and the county executive. They both say the plan to fix the finances at the agency does not go far enough. Now they're putting an independent financial team inside the Homelessness Authority starting this month. Now, this comes after that audit revealed $13 million in public funds unaccounted for and weak internal controls. King County and Seattle City Councils have set an August 1st deadline to recommend whether to restructure, dissolve, or continue the Homelessness Authority. Jillian?
Thank you so much, Aaron. Now we're going to check your weather forecast, and pretty dreary today with a high of just 63 degrees. That's where we are right now. Tomorrow, showers in the morning, cloudy weather in the afternoon, and I do see some hope for sunshine later this week. 63 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Lots of stuff to get to. Let's start with this one, Spike. Then we're going to get into the Office of Financial Management's economic predictions. That's just like there's no sexier sentence than the one that I just said. There's nothing that people get more excited about than economic predictions. These ones are not looking good, though, so that does make it kind of fun, which we can talk about the reasons for that. But let's start with Sound Transit. Sound Transit they got a big hole to make up. $35 billion? $34.5 billion? Is that right?
Well, a projected budget of their already, you can't really tell because they had an announcement recently of this is the stuff we know we can afford to finish. Mm-hmm. This is stuff we know we can afford to plan but not pay for yet.
Yeah.
It's like a shell game with your tax dollars.
Yeah.
Going on to Sound Transit. But so I'm not sure the exact number. They're 35 underwater if they finish everything. But who knows what the finish line looks like?
Who knows? Yeah, it definitely sounds like they're trying to just confuse everyone into submission, and then nobody asks any questions.
Throw up our hands with a wallet in one of them.
They must know what they're doing because they keep saying things, which is a strategy we use here on the show. So Sound Transit is now discussing. They're recommending fare gates. Now, this is going to be a pilot program. This would be just at 14 locations. Not every location actually is doable for a fare gate, apparently, because there's a bunch of street level ones.
Exactly. There are stations that you need to take an elevator, an escalator up or down to.
Yeah, like Northgate. You go to Northgate,
right?
You're up in the sky.
Go up to Capitol Hill, go down to the Symphony Hall, go down anywhere you go that's downtown. Those locations, Westlake. You got to go subterranean. Think New York City.
Sure.
There's a tolling capability there.
Yeah.
You walk up to a street level station down on MLK.
Then what are you going to do?
Right.
How are you going to put a fare gate in?
So, and they're guessing, and I think they're right. It's not going to be worth somebody's time to go to a different station just to beat the fare. They're going to collect where they know they can collect.
Here's what's interesting, though. I disagree with them that they can't. I do think that they could figure out how to put in street level fare gates if they wanted to, because I don't think people
It's called a guard.
Well,
it takes a human, and it probably costs a lot less than
that's true.
Design, construction, maintenance.
The cost for these gates. Do you see the cost for these gates?
Yeah,
14 of these. It's going to cost $88.2 million. I
want to get into the transit gate game. You and I, there's still time.
Any business that you can get into with any local, bureaucratic, government-funded building operation.
It's about
business.
$6 million a turnstile, but roughly.
$88 million in costs.
14, right, divided by 88, divided by 14 is about six, not quite 7. So we could throw some gates up for $7 million a stop, right?
I've been to New York. I walked through those things.
I know how this works.
Are those $8 million a piece?
I don't know, but we're talking about a complex, right? You're not about a turnstile. I was being facetious, but when you go to say to a North Gate or a North Shoreline station, a Linwood station, that's got the capacity to be gated and tolled.
But if I'm not wrong, I've seen gates before. They've been very controversial.
Been working with them my whole life.
Yeah,
I finally got it figured out.
I understand gates. Yeah, I've built a few myself.
Sure.
It's just a wall, and then there's an entry point designated that somebody would go through. And if you want to walk through that entry
put a
point,
barrier up.
You got to have a little ticket.
Right.
I've seen how it works at the Washington State Ferry system. I'm on the Edmonds-Kingston run all the time.
Yep.
Is that an $8 million facility?
Hard to say.
No way.
These days with government pricings, who knows? Who knows what's going to get?
It's like that.
At least they realize, no one's paying unless we make them. The honor system in a world without honor ain't the way to go.
But is it going to work if you're not enforcing fares everywhere? If you don't have turnstiles or whatever this is going to look like, if you don't have gates everywhere, then now you said they're making a calculated effort that somebody wants to get on. No one's
going to drive all the way down to
just to get on a train Valley, where they're already needing to go
to beat the $3 it takes to get on the train up in North End.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I think it's got some.
But why
potential.
not? But why not just gate them all? Gate them all.
I think you can.
I think you can too.
And again,
and for $88 million, I think you definitely could.
If you break it down to $7 million a turnstile or $6 million plus a turnstile, then I don't know how much $6 million would hire a guard for quite a while.
Long while.
You could get a guy out there for, I don't know,
I know how much a gun costs.
Right?
I know
probably
the deterrence.
The going rate of a salaried security guard at a transit stop.
You don't even have to put a gun in his hands. You can just put one of those
put a yellow vest on him.
Put a yellow vest in those zappers. Just somebody wants to break through.
Right.
It's a lot less than $8 million.
Dude, you could put a cardboard guard there, and enough people would pay.
Just a fake,
right?
Yeah.
Slow down there, Chief.
One of those South Korean hologram cops.
Why don't we do that at every stop and save ourselves about, I don't know, $87 million?
You'd save a lot. But they say that this cost will be offset in 2 to 5 years.
When people start paying?
Additional revenue is going to be $30 million. And they say that's based on the already, they say it's based on a fairly low level of people actually paying would bring in $30 million.
Wow. Okay. It's
right now,
itself, huh?
There's only people, according to the Seattle Times piece here, according to Como, they say compliance rates were approximately 85. This is for people who actually had a ticket to ride those trains. Compliance rates were approximately 85% in 2018 and 2019, but fell sharply during the pandemic and have remained in the low 60% range despite expanded staffing of fare ambassadors. So you've hired all these fare ambassadors to enforce these tickets. They do what they probably did with you.
Well, I was going to say,
which is they might give you kind of a friendly, dirty look.
And enforce is a loose word here because I got the first of 5 warnings.
Yeah. They're pretty relaxed.
5 warnings.
Yeah.
And these folks, I told you about my time. I got on the the train. And
You'd forgotten your Orca card.
I forgot my Orca card, and I just walked on because the train was coming. I was trying to get to work. And the fare ambassadors walked up and down the length of the car I was on, asking everyone for their Orca card. When I couldn't produce mine, they got my ID, wrote me a warning.
What's interesting is you probably were one of the more compliant non-fare people that they would have on those trains. Because I wonder what would have happened if you would have just said, no, I'm not giving you any ID. I don't believe in it. I'm just not going to show you ID. Or I don't have ID.
I can't imagine it would have gotten confrontational.
I bet you they just would have walked along.
Walked right along.
I bet you that happens all the time.
Yeah. And, we had a story about a month and a half ago, I want to say, about the warnings issued, the tickets written.
Now that was for Metro.
Oh, it was for Metro.
Yeah,
it was for Metro.
But it was a similar story.
Similar scenario.
That leads me to a question here because I looked that up too. I was going to throw that number in there like an aha moment, but I'd forgotten that it was on buses.
Yeah, but we're talking about users of public transportation who are asked to pay fare but don't. It's a fair comparison.
So King County Metro has a similar problem that Sound Transit has, which is that people take them occasionally, but they don't pay for them in any kind of number that makes sense. And so King County Metro hires 30 fare ambassadors, fare enforcement officers, to start talking to people. Now, they don't look at them as enforcement officers. They look at them as community engagement specialists.
Right. Hey, they're supposed to pay to get on this train.
Yeah.
They're trying to build habits.
They're trying to build habits.
Yeah.
And what that resulted in was, I think there was like, out of the 30 fair people that they had on, who were just basically there for hugs, they had how many? Like 2,000.
I think it was 2,400 tickets written.
2,400 warnings written.
Or citations issued, if I'm not mistaken, because the amount of money they collected in that was like 3 dozen?
I think the citations were 8.
Oh, okay.
And I think the actual enforcements were 0.
Oh yeah, because
they collected no money.
Mr. Joseph Mama again.
Well,
people were given bogus names.
Well, there was also just no follow through.
No follow-through.
If you got a warning,
ID, no addresses.
I could be wrong about that. Maybe you're right. If it's 0 or if it's a couple dozen, it's nothing.
It still doesn't pay for a third of the fair ambassadors. Doesn't pay for one of them.
Which are a $3 million a year budgeted item. So that's a 6-figure job. There's 30 of them at $3 million a year. That's a 6-figure job for each one of those guys.
Ask for orca cards?
Yeah. And so here's my question.
To take the 4 years of college I put in? Because I could have really been saving money.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my question. And that, again, that's King County Metro, but same kind of deal on Sound Transit. You have these gates that are going to go in this pilot program. And they say pilot program because it's obviously going to be something that they're going to have to do financially. They're going to have to do this because they have no money.
They're going to evaluate how this.
So it's pilot until they get past that. I feel like that's kind of an easier way to get people on board. That's no pun intended. But an easier way to get people on board with the idea of putting gates in, which has traditionally been sold to the public by Sound Transit as, oh, we don't put gates in because that's unfair to parts of our community that don't want to go through gates and can't afford it. So what I'm wondering is they're now going to put in gates, right?
It sounds ridiculous, my new clean here, by the way. We're
that's
working
what
on a
they
theme
said
here today.
That's what they said in the past when everybody was asking. When they built the system, they said, hey, guys, we've noticed that you didn't put any
now that
barriers
I can hear out of the
entry.
right side of my brain, it just sounds stupid.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I love it. Yes, an earwax-free Spike. I like him. So here's my question. You have all these fair ambassadors who now will be second tier to gates. Do they still need to have jobs there if they're not producing any further ticketed riders?
I think during the pilot portion.
Keep them hired.
Yeah, because once
reasonable.
Once you don't have pilots, you really don't need flight attendants. I'm just saying. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When they've got gates up and people become accustomed to and expect to pay a fare and it becomes compliant.
Yes.
You don't need guys walking up and down checking.
You don't.
Yeah.
Why would you need them? So that would be my question. But in the release, they said no staffing reductions are proposed as part of the pilot. Now,
during the pilot.
Now, maybe they're going with what you're going with, which is that, all right, during this rollout phase.
Yeah, you try it, you trial and error, you find what works, what doesn't work, you correct as you go along, course correct. And till eventually you get to a point where you know what gates work, where, what you can expect people to comply and don't comply, and how you stop people who are ne'er-do-wells who are never going to pay. You know, like in New York, they put up a whole bunch of things. People used to jump the turnstiles in New York all the time.
And now they have literally, like, you go through like cattle gates now to get through these things.
They put in systems where people can't jump. If you want to ride.
There's no jumping over it because you go through a thing now.
Exactly. If you want to ride, you're going to pay.
Isn't it funny how much common sense that sounds like?
It really does.
And the fact that they did not build this system with that in place, they wanted it to be like they literally use words like kinder and gentler in all of their press releases. Like, we're going to have a kinder and gentler fare enforcement approach.
I would say that's also very indicative to the region we live in, because
bunch of snowflakes.
Well, a bunch of folks who are welcome and open, and we never really had to keep an eye on our neighbors. We never had to lock our doors. I mean. I'm very pie in the sky, but I'd say Seattle falls, the Northwest falls into that category much, much more than the tried and true communities of, say, New York, Chicago, Boston, where people are kind of rough and tumble, very competitive.
We're not known for our kindness, though. Seattle, like the Seattle Freeze,
that's different, but we are very welcoming. I mean, we're not the Seattle Freeze is with regard to new arrivals. When it comes to us locals,
like welcoming them into our friend groups and communities.
Yeah, that's where the Seattle
know.
Freeze is, because we're tired of people coming here and checking up the rates of everything. You know, buying the Uber properties, building $1 million fun condos,
car condos.
Yeah, you're right.
Which I like.
No born and bred resident of Ballard is going to buy into one of those things.
Tell you what, if I had the money, I'd buy one right now.
Sure.
I think that's a good investment. That's a good idea. You guys should go back and listen to our last segment of last hour. They have $1 million car condos coming to Seattle waterfront. It's a fun idea.
The millionaire motor and boat. What's it called again? It's a great story.
Motor One and Yacht something.
Yeah.
It looks pretty nice. All right. The Terminal 1 Motor Plus and Yacht Club. All right.
Tell them Jake sent you.
Tell them I'm not advertising for them.
Get 5% off.
Here's my last question about this Sound Transit stuff.
Type in discount code Jake sent me.
We've decided. Shut up. If they'd like to endorse, you call our office.
We'll broadcast live from one for you.
Here's the thing. We've already decided. I think we've arrived at a good middle road with the Fair Ambassadors during the pilot program. And then afterwards,
no need for that.
Do you think that people who are now going to be required to have ORCA cards, if you can provide proof of residency in the taxing district, so in the counties that are actually responsible for paying for light rail, shouldn't those houses just be issued free ORCA cards? They're not free ORCA cards. Shouldn't those houses be issued ORCA cards because of the taxes that you are already paying toward the system?
You wouldn't have to send them to everybody because some folks don't own. They rent. They don't pay property taxes.
Yep,
their property taxes didn't pay into this system.
Well,
you see what I'm saying though? If I'm paying what, $17,000 a household, you're saying, per citizen?
Well, it's like $1,700 a year.
$1,700 a year. Okay.
Yeah.
The Ballard number you gave me, somebody who's been spending into Ballard since
$25,000.
$25,000.
Yeah.
As a property owner,
I think
who's
you
paying
get an
taxes.
ORCA card.
I think you get an ORCA card.
Make
I think
it
you
gold.
ride free.
Make it feel special. It's not free. You paid for it.
Well, I mean,
and that's what should be on the card. It should be a gold card that says.
I already paid.
Yeah, it says it's not free. You paid for it.
Just prepaid.
Yeah, prepaid. Prepaid is great.
Prepaid. Yeah.
Mine was a little too tongue-in-cheek. Prepaid is great.
Yours was snarky.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm going for. A snarka card. You're very good at this.
Prepaid.
Yes.
Back up.
All right.
Fair Ambassador.
Speaking of prepaid, do we even have time to get into all this Office of Financial Management?
It's our show.
Hocus pocus.
Man, what we got scheduled at 1:30? Let's bump it.
We got a lot of stuff at 1:30.
Okay. We got a lot of stuff today.
Got a lot of good stuff at 1:30. I'd like to get into this a little bit. This Office of Financial Management stuff. They basically put out this thing.
This ain't going to take long, by the way.
Okay.
To tell people.
Let me read a little bit about this, and then you can give me your take on it. As we enter the 27-29, this is a letter from Katie Chapman C., who's the director of the OFM.
Office of Financial Management to all agency directors.
Yes. As we enter 27-29 biennial budget cycle, I will start by thanking each of you for your partnership in working through what will likely be the most challenging budget any of us has yet faced in these roles. That's pretty ominous. On behalf of myself and the team here at the Office of Financial Management, we see and appreciate the complexity you're navigating. You're leading through blah, 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 just like kissing butt. As you're setting up the fact that they're going to be in pretty bad shape. Now, people are asking the question. Bob Ferguson posted this along with this message. He says, my team and I are working closely with our agencies regarding our budget outlook. This letter from the OFM director lays out the challenge well. There's a lot of information still to come before I propose my budget in December, including 2 caseload revenue forecasts. Was that a typo? Caseload additional? Anyway, revenue forecast. That information will give us a better sense of the scale of the challenge. And then he talks about, just as we go ahead, we're going to preserve core services, protect our state's most vulnerable, yada, yada, yada. My question to you is, didn't we just have a major news cycle where we watched as during his election run, he made promises that he was not going, or at least he made
campaign promises.
He
campaigned on a pillar of his campaign.
Was it a promise or was it a suggestion? It's tough to pin him down because he's a lawyer. So
I think you campaign on promise.
It felt like a promise.
Yeah.
He was not going to raise taxes, and he was going to do the hard fiscal things that needed to be done. Yeah. And then he raised the taxes, the largest increase in state history. And now we have a budget of $81 billion. And yet we still find ourselves in the spot where the Office of Financial Management is sending a letter to all the agencies saying, hey, all that money that we just brought in and all the projected new revenue that's going to come in from the millionaire's tax, this accounts for all that. And still they're saying this is an historically bad economic outlook. So what do we do about that? How do we solve that problem? How's Bob Ferguson going to solve that problem?
Move the goalpost.
You think so? What do you do?
Well, I mean,
you can't raise taxes again. Except he will.
They try to do some rationale on this. They say, look, in the past decade, inflation has increased by 39% over the last decade, which means what costs us $100 in 2016 now costs us $139 in 2026.
Okay.
But you've doubled the budget.
Yep.
You've taxed us to a record level.
Yeah.
So you're telling me inflation's 40%. What about the other 80%?
That's the problem.
The doubling of the budget and the increasing of the revenue and all those other things. There's still a lot of missing.
So if our budget had grown at the rate of inflation plus population growth, which is a totally fair, barometer to read by. I don't even know if that's a correct way to state things. That's a totally fair metric. If you did inflation plus population growth, our budget would be $30 billion less than it is now. We're $30 billion above
their inflation
and population
their
growth.
Rationale for this situation.
So how can we be at $81 billion when we should be just a little over 50 if they were running things as they should be running? So it's not a revenue issue. So it's not about revenue coming in. It must be about spending then, but they're not going to be able to cut spending by that amount. They're going to have to raise more taxes.
It doesn't seem like there's any other option. I mean, well...
This is what's called a doom loop.
Yeah, but it is. If they keep doing what you're doing, yeah. I mean, what don't we? Is anybody suggesting we return to the business-friendly policies of 20 years ago? When we were a magnet for for entrepreneurs.
They're now going to be
and risk takers.
They're literally fighting an initiative right now to not have to. To be able to have this millionaire's tax, which is going to hurt these businesses. So the question is what is it going to look like, and how is he going to fix it, and what budget is he going to propose in December? What's that going to look like? I mean, $81 billion is insane.
That's them softening the ground for what's coming in next proposal.
Yeah, which is going to be listen, we're going to defend you guys. We're certainly not going to raise taxes. We hate to do this, but we got to raise taxes. Which is crazy. I mean, if they did that, they will, but it's not good. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Should we talk about Zillow real fast? Can we do that when we come back?
Yeah,
and then also the White House UFC fight.
Yeah, we're going to turn our eyes eastward.
Let's marry those two things.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Get any size high-efficiency AC for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront costs. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service includes lifetime repairs and annual maintenance at no extra charge. Book your free estimate at cmheating.com today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity
No, I
Medical
don't want to
Clinic?
do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with
Yes.
because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Golden Crest Metals helps investors understand how physical gold and silver can be held inside qualified retirement accounts without pressure or confusion. Our team brings decades of experience in precious metals and retirement planning with a focus on clear education, straightforward pricing, and a process designed to put clients first. Why do investors choose Golden Crest Metals? Experience, transparency, and a client-first approach. Tune into The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels every Saturday at 1 p.m.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know SunBucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A worker strike could come any day at the Embassy Suites near Seattle's Pioneer Square after 94% of union members voted to authorize a walkout. Hayden Everly is a front desk agent at the hotel, located steps away from where World Cup matches will be played next week at Lumen Field.
This is exactly the time when we would be going on a strike. It's the busiest time of the year, one of the most important events really in the city's history.
Workers' demands include better pay, year-round health care, and pre-pandemic staffing levels. A Hilton spokesperson says the company remains committed to negotiating in good faith, adding contingency plans are in place should a strike occur. A Kittitas County deputy arrested after getting into an argument with customers and staff at the historic Brick Saloon in Roslyn on Sunday morning.
What started as a verbal dispute escalated into criminal conduct, according to the sheriff's office. The deputy, who left the bar before police were called, voluntarily turned himself in to the Washington State Patrol, which is handling the investigation. He was booked into jail on felony charges involving a firearm, but no shots were fired and no one was hurt. The deputy was placed on administrative leave pending criminal and internal investigations. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Out of the closing bell reports and a new milestone for Boeing. July 6th is the start date for 737 MAX production on a new Everett line. Boeing is currently at 47 jets monthly, aiming for 52 next year and eventually 63. CEO Kelly Ortberg tells CNBC when Everett comes online, it'll help them get to 52.
We are ready. We went through a pretty exhaustive effort to get ready and test the system. We're just now moving from 42 to 47 here in Renton.
FAA still caps output after 2024's door plug blowouts. Costco is asking a judge to dismiss a legal claim targeting the company's $5 rotisserie chicken. A proposed class action lawsuit claims the product contains additives despite being advertised as free of preservatives. Seattle Times reports Costco argues those ingredients are part of the seasoning, not classified as preservatives by the Food and Drug Administration. On Wall Street today, mixed results. The Dow lost 80 points. NASDAQ up to 20. S&P 500 gained 22 points. And now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. Southbound I-5 near the T-Dome. The eastbound 26th Street ramp is closed, and northbound 7 to eastbound 26 also closed. Seattle to Everett right now, a 25-minute drive. Federal Way to Seattle, just 24 minutes. And Linwood to Seattle, we're seeing a 3-minute delay, an 18-minute drive. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. And now to your forecast. We have rain this afternoon, turning to light showers overnight. Starting to break up, though, tomorrow with some sun breaks, and then mainly dry for the rest of the week with a big warm-up in store as well. Right now, 61 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. A couple things we want to discuss this segment. UFC fight, White House lawn. They're now, somebody has a lawsuit trying to get it shut down.
A couple of Virginia residents have filed suit.
Okay, we'll get into that in just a second. And then also locally here, we were talking last break about the financial outlook for Washington State. Not sunny, which is very appropriate for Washington State. Not sunny, rain clouds. So one of the reasons that it's not super sunny is you do have people with a lot of money who are deciding that they no longer want to live here and pay taxes here. And the latest big name to make that announcement, although he doesn't cite, his name is Rich Barton. You may not know him by name, but I'm sure you know his companies. He co-founded Zillow, Expedia, a company called Glassdoor, which I didn't know a lot about. Maybe you had heard of that, Spike. Anyway, tech guy, worth lots of money. He's a billionaire. Washington had more billionaires than they currently have because they are moving away for probably tax reasons.
Yeah, it's obviously
it must be
greener pastures, if you will, from other states that are willing to give big tax incentives to businesses to relocate. For example, Tennessee, which offered Starbucks. Can't even tell who's leaving anymore. Can't keep track of them. Starbucks got $12,000 per employee.
I think per employee,
and a massive corporate tax break to relocate.
Yeah.
Into their
now, in turn, Starbucks did have to make an investment of $100 million locally there, which they did. They're going to hire a bunch of people. Those jobs are like starting at $125. So
paying jobs.
They're getting a lot. For the local economy recognizes we're going to get a lot, so let's make it easier for them to make that transition over here. Rich Barton made this announcement. This was just on Friday, I believe. He says, officially a Las Vegas resident, kids are launched, empty nest achieved, and we're excited to start this next chapter. This wasn't like the timing of this was it. He doesn't cite the millionaire's tax as a reason for this, which was, I believe, Senate Bill 6346. Is that right? He doesn't cite the millionaire's tax as a reason for his moving, although how can you not look at that as one of the possible reasons? When you think about how much this guy makes per year, when you think about the fact that Washington State has capital gains tax, all these different things, different ways to kind of pick the pocket of very, very wealthy people, and then you move somewhere like Nevada,
which is one of the most frequently relocated
tax haven-friendly states.
I mean, he says because he wants to be closer to Cher and Celine Dion impersonators, and I believe him.
Well, obviously,
I believe him.
Yeah,
who wouldn't want to be that way?
Yeah,
you know, I want to go to see the Sphere 5 days a week. Mm-hmm. You can't do that unless you live in Vegas.
Well, he probably
I'm a big A's fan. He said, you know.
He just loves the Raiders.
Just loves. It's our season, baby.
He's excited. He's like, I'm going to be a Mendoza guy from day one.
Day one, right?
I'm going to watch the Raiders.
I said at the NFL draft, whoever gets him, that's where I'm taking this company.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
So he went to Vegas, and which is, again, very tax-friendly. It's much more tax-friendly than Washington State. And Washington has to eat the cost of that he was bringing in tax-wise. So like a lot of rich people, his yearly salary, even though he's very, very wealthy, his yearly salary, according to the different websites that I saw, was around, we don't know for sure exactly what his tax bill might be because he's a private citizen.
Yeah.
We don't have access to those things, but they do have estimates on what these might be. So his yearly salary would be somewhere around $768,000, according to the this one website that I saw, Economic Research Institute. $25.57 million in pay was in equity grants. So again, a lot of these big
that's
tech
how
guys,
the super rich. That's how they're compensated.
yes, they get paid in company stock.
Yeah.
That stock is then something that they can then borrow against. They can take loans out at very low interest rates. They're good for it, obviously. And when they want to cash those in eventually, then they end up paying taxes on those. Or in a case like Washington State, they actually do have capital gains tax on unrealized gains. So that's one thing that he's now going to avoid as well.
Wasn't it Bernie Sanders last week was proposing a billionaire's tax, the one-time billionaire's tax on held assets, not as trying to find these havens.
Sure.
These completely legal tax havens.
The federal version.
Yeah, the federal version.
Basically, the federalized version of what California is trying to do.
Yes.
Yeah, which is, I hate that. I
know you do.
I mean, it's just.
I love it, man.
Really?
I mean, even with clean ears, I love it.
Really?
I mean, because, and only because, and this, I may be completely off base on this.
Sure.
But the way the incredibly successful, I wouldn't even call them incredibly wealthy, the incredibly successful, the way they are now compensated for their risk taking and their success, it's evolved or devolved to a position where it's untaxable. I mean, what used to be the rewards for your business, it relies on the infrastructure that the rest of us all provide and pay for. You reap the benefits of taking risk and being smart and having success. But there was always a system that helped kick back into the system that helped get you there. It seems to me that the new compensation evolution of the incredibly successful has evolved to a point where some of these guys don't pay next to anything.
Well, but I disagree with that notion.
That's fair.
I don't think they're not paying anything. I mean, here's a little bit of Bernie. You want to hear a little bit of Bernie on that?
Okay, yeah, please.
Here's a little bit of Bernie on his thing here. Oh, my audio. My bad.
Bernie
Sanders.
I introduced recently legislation to establish a 5% annual wealth tax on the 938.
Oh, it's annual. I thought it was a one-time annual.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Jeez Louise.
Billionaires in America.
I hate it even more.
Who collectively are worth more than $8 trillion. This is a 5% tax on fewer than 1,000 billionaires on their wealth. Now, my opponents, of which there are many, claim that this legislation is punitive and confiscatory. Oh, we're just picking on these poor billionaires. I mean, my God.
Oh,
how cruel can you be?
I cannot listen to him without hearing Larry David's impression of him.
But I want you to hear this. This just shows you how crazy the economy is today. If that bill were in effect this year, Elon Musk would pay $39 billion more in taxes. But here's the punchline. This confiscatory, terrible, drastic, radical piece of legislation would leave Musk with just $737 billion left to survive.
Oh.
Now, I know you're worried about him.
Oh, my God.
Well, what do you think? Think he can make it on 700?
You think he can make it on $700 million?
What are we, the Catskills? Come on, Bernie. Come on. It would generate nearly $500 billion in revenue for these almost 1,000 billionaires in the country.
I mean, we talked about this before.
I know.
They would. I mean, they could collect 100% of all their wealth, and it would pay for the government for 13 months, and then they'd be, and then the entire economy would be ruined. We talked about the many.
Direction.
Here's my question to you:
13 great months that we're done.
Those 13
till we explode.
Go out of the bang. Here's my question for you.
Yeah.
Because we're at loggerheads on this. We're not going to see eye to eye.
It's okay.
Do you worry when he talks about Elon Musk there? And we'll get into what we're going to do next. We're going to do the UFC thing. We'll do the UFC thing next.
Okay.
If he did have an annual 5% tax on billionaires, are you worried at all that the money, like we're talking about that Rich Barton guy makes less than $1 million a year.
Yeah.
He doesn't make $26 million in real cash.
Right.
That's an investment that his company is going to succeed. That company then in turn hires and makes investments in building out and hiring more people and providing real wages for those people that work for him.
Yeah.
Are you worried at all that when you force those guys to make that money real, and when you force them to have to cash out, because they don't have that cash. Elon Musk doesn't have $39 billion on hand. He has it. He has access to it.
Sure.
But he would have to sell a bunch of stock in order to do that. He has to make that money real. And when he makes that money real, the company that he's buying out of, all those things are affected by that in a negative way. So do you worry that that's going to have a downstream effect?
You can't not. A common sense would tell you there's going to be some effect.
I understand the complaint that these guys, they've got so much money, let's just take some of their money. I just think it would be better, like in Washington State's case. You look at the budget in Washington State. We're so late here. You look at the budget in Washington State, wouldn't it be better if they started fixing their own revenue spending problems first before they start taking other people's money? That's my only contention. And that's where I would disagree with taxing rich people more. Let's get our house in order before we take from theirs. All right, we got more coming up. UFC. We'll fight about it.
We'll do it.
Next.
Cage
All right,
match.
We'll be right back.
KIRO Newsradio is honored to be the recipient of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence and Excellence in Writing.
We can't let hatred become the air we breathe. It poisons us all. Our strength is in unity.
We thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Aegis Living. Recently I told you that my aunt has had surgery, and she was home the next day, but we weren't sure if we had the capacity, the know-how to take care of my aunt. So I called my friends at Aegis Living and asked about respite care, which is a short-term stay at Aegis. Could be 2 weeks, could be 2 days. I knew that my aunt was getting the kind of attention she needed 24/7. She got to experience the amenities of an Aegis Living facility, and it gave our family the peace of mind to know that she was in good hands. We did the right thing. Go to aegisliving.com/spike. Take a look today. See if it's the right solution for your family situation. It's aegisliving.com/spike.
Holy smokes!
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
If you're hurt in a car accident, call Harold Car Law Offices right away. They'll save you time and get you more money from insurance while you're able to focus on recovering. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
I was walking my dog. I fell and ended up with 3 tears in my meniscus. I was sent to a surgeon and they said the only way to get this fixed is to have surgery. That just wasn't an option. I didn't want to jump into surgery without trying anything else.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We offer Jamie an alternative to the downtime and potential risks associated with invasive knee surgery. At Sound Pain Solutions, we help patients like Jamie avoid the side effects of painkillers, cortisone injections, and pain following surgery. Our comprehensive approach includes treatments like pressure wave, PRP, and advanced laser. These treatments reduce pain and restore mobility naturally. Now Jamie is able to do everything she enjoys without pain.
I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day and not be in pain. To be able to go about my day has been amazing.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free joint treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
Summertime means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, and more. So don't let your bank stop you from having fun. Free checking at WaFd Bank is the way to go. There are no minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Plus, you'll get spending tools and the latest technology to help you stay on budget. Not only is WaFd Bank rated a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states, so you have access wherever you are. Visit wafdbank.com to open your account. Additional fees may apply. Member FDIC.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike, you big UFC fan?
Not really. Never had been. I was never even a boxing fan, so taking it to the next level.
Yeah, where
UFC,
anything goes.
MMA, cage match.
Brazilian
when you got to
jiu-jitsu.
lock somebody in, I don't know, man. But
hey,
it's for a lot of people.
Did you watch, were you a big, it used to be called WWF, but then they got, were they sued by the World Wildlife Fund and they had to change their name?
The WWE Entertainment.
And now it's World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah.
They
lost to the Pandas in a cage match, ironically enough.
Which is funny because they're a very lackadaisical animal.
Yeah, you wouldn't think.
They just
They'd have that aggressive.
Chew on bamboo all day.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, they get you in a sleeper hold.
They wait you out. That's the thing. I loved WWF when I was a kid.
Okay.
I also like wrestling. No, that's a joke. I just love the World Wildlife Fund. When I was a kid, Hulk Hogan. I mean, was it the Gravedigger? Or that am I thinking of that's a
Gravedigger was a
Gravedigger's a monster truck.
Yeah,
they're kind of the same thing.
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm from the Iron Sheik.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
I'm from the old days of Andre the Giant was actually in the ring, not just in Princess Bride.
Oh.
The Iron Sheik.
I remember the Iron Sheik.
Yeah, you bet, man. Rowdy Roddy Piper.
So that's
Mr. Mean Gene. Yeah, you bet.
Did they ever have a World Wrestling match on the White House lawn? I don't.
No.
Did they never
this
did?
This is new territory.
This is a new thing.
This is new territory.
Okay, so the UFC, Dana White owns the UFC. Trump is also an investor in UFC, which is what people are upset by.
That's the rub here. Yeah.
And they're saying, basically, explain the lawsuit to me. They're not happy that it's on the White House property because it's a private event?
So basically, the fact that there is a paid professional event, money-generating professional event taking place on the White House lawn.
And they're offering sub tickets for like $1 million.
They are, and people can't. The UFC fight is being billed as a celebration of America's 250th birthday. That's the rationale behind having this on the White House lawn. First of all, I came into this thinking this is tacky. This is beneath us as Americans. Then I had a bit of I got my ears cleaned, and I figured out that this appeals to a wide swath of Americans.
Okay, so
just because it ain't my.
That's true. UFC fighting is a big. Yeah, it is a big deal.
Just because it's not my mug of beer doesn't mean a lot of Americans don't love this stuff.
Yeah.
The problem is that this is a for-profit sporting event on a federal property, a government property, and people can't watch this unless they're part of a pay-per-view Paramount Plus subscription service. Another donator to President Trump's campaigns, and another company that President Trump has some stock in. So the president is promoting these events on White House lawn under the guise of America's 250th, where he stands to generate a profit from.
Let me ask you this question.
That's why it's two people from the state of Virginia have brought suit against the White House for holding this event on the White House property.
Yeah, the lawsuit says the president is giving Dana White, and his company what none have enjoyed before, unfettered access to the White House and Lincoln Memorial to stage a private for-profit sports event with all the promotional and branding opportunities that accompany such access. And obviously they see a conflict of interest in the fact that...
I mean, there'll be advertisements everywhere. Banners hanging on the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah.
I think Lincoln's holding like a Wendy's sandwich.
He's got a big elbow up.
Right.
The people's elbow.
He's got they superimpose somebody's head under Lincoln's elbow on the monument.
Perfect.
There's a weigh-in at the Lincoln Memorial prior to the event. So all these federal monuments are being used as backdrops for a money-making event.
That's the visuals I really like about it. I agree with you that I don't like the The fact that you have to have some access through Paramount.
Yeah, it's not free TV.
They should. I have no problem with them selling tickets to it. I think that's not a problem if it went to some like foundation that benefits the national parks or whatever. I do think it's cool that they have. I mean, the setup is amazing. The picture that they have on the White House lawn, it looks crazy.
Okay, it's not my cup of tea, but you're right. It's crazy. It's a 6-ton. They call it the Claw.
It's
right?
massive.
Yeah.
So I do like that. It is a massive sport. It's like one of the fastest growing sports in the world. People are really into it.
Tell you what, the diehard fans of the sport itself have concerns about the fact that it's outdoor. There's a humidity factor because they have this controlled environment for every UFC fight. I mean, they take meticulous care to make sure that the athletes involved have even footing or a level playing field. It's all safe and fair, and they're worried about humidity. They're worried about heat. They're worried about weather. They're worried about the bugs that this massive structure and the lighting will draw into D.C. for these athletes. So people for the integrity of the fights themselves, they have concerns as well.
Those to me feel like kind of slim pickings as far as complaints.
Well, I'm talking about these mosquitoes. These are people worried about the fight itself, the integrity of the fight itself.
I understand, but it looks. I mean, if Dana White, who's doing it, is setting the whole thing up, obviously he's not going to. When you look at the structure,
$100 bills to wipe the sweat out of his eyes that night, and he'll be fine.
Yeah. But I agree that the idea that it's a for-profit thing and that it's not accessible to everybody if it is on the people's property, then I think that's a totally fair thing.
That's the argument people are making.
There have been. I looked this up. I was like, have there been other for-profit businesses that have used the White House lawn to promote their businesses? Yes, that has happened. I mean, during Biden's administration, he did that big promotional thing with the big 3 automakers trying to pump EVs. You remember that? Where he was like taking rides in Jeep Wranglers and like, you guys got to buy one of these Jeep Wranglers.
Yeah.
So the Trump thing with UFC is a little different. I mean, have other presidents done something exactly like this? No. Was Biden trying to pump big businesses that have a lot of unions and stuff?
So have Trump
I understand
as well.
that.
A lot of presidents do that. We want to help the auto industry. Here's all the latest, greatest electric vehicles.
Just open it up to everybody. Let everybody watch it, and then maybe nobody has complaints at that point.
Wave the buy-in fee on it.
And donate a majority of the ticket sales to.
If it was pay-per-view, then make it all go to the Forest Service. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Absolutely. And then may the best competitor? You don't call it wrestler, right? You call him a wrestler?
They're
fighter. May the best fighter win. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Security beefed up by local and federal law enforcers for tonight's third game of the NBA Final in New York because President Trump plans to attend. New York City Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch.
For Game 4, we do expect watch parties outside of Madison Square Garden to resume. Those watch parties will be managed with pens and screening.
The Knicks lead the series 2-0 for the San Antonio Spurs. A referee for the FIFA World Cup has been denied entry to the U.S. due to vetting concerns, says a statement from U.S. Customs and Border Protection. He's identified by local reports as Omar Artan from Somalia. A federal judge today struck down a $100,000 fee the Trump administration imposed on new H-1B visas for skilled foreign workers. The judge says Congress would need to approve. An 18-year-old has been taken into custody for questioning, police say, in the mass shooting over the weekend in Toledo, Ohio. This is ABC News. Maine voters cast ballots tomorrow in perhaps the most watched primary election in the country. Democratic candidate Graham Plattner is expected to win the nomination and take on Republican Senator Susan Collins. But Plattner is on defense over allegations of physical and emotional abuse against ex-girlfriends. ABC's Jay O'Brien.
It doesn't look like what we've seen so far, that there is enough of a base of Maine voters who would leave Graham Plattner, but also we don't have great polling in the wake of these articles. So really, it's all going to come down to what the vote total looks like tomorrow night. And even if Graham Plattner wins, if there's a contingent of, again, that Plattner protest vote tomorrow, does that spell trouble for him into the general, where he's got to have all of the Democratic weight behind him?
ABC's Jay O'Brien. U.S. Airlines spent more than $6 billion on jet fuel in April, up 78% from a year earlier, despite using slightly less fuel, says government data. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Coming up, new conditions set for a high school stabbing suspect. That's after Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Southbound I-5 in Seattle, just past Mercer. Look out for a collision. It's in the left lane. South 5 to 26 in Tacoma, that ramp is closed. Bellevue to Federal Way, you're going to see a 5-minute delay. And Seattle to Everett is a 25-minute drive. Federal Way to Seattle, 24 minutes. And Linwood to Seattle, we're looking at 3-minute delay, only a 19-minute drive, however. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granello. Bail now set at just $250 for a 16-year-old accused in the stabbing of 4 people at Foss High School back in April. Waleed Imad Isaki is charged as an adult with 4 counts of first-degree assaults.
Last month, when he pleaded not guilty, bail was set at $750,000. But a Pierce County judge imposed that lower amount Monday and ordered home electronic monitoring. The judge also prohibited Asaki from contacting the school and from using social media. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
The Bellevue man accused of running a human trafficking operation out of a luxury rental home is due back in court this hour. Investigators say the 21-year-old was arrested after Bellevue police raided a Lakemont neighborhood mansion. It was tied to large parties promoted on social media and adult content platforms. Bellevue police telling KIRO 7 TV.
They were shown some luxury cars, jewelry, and they were essentially coerced into performing on these platforms.
Judge set bail at $5 million. Man's hearing is set for 2:30. 5 federal agencies, including the U.S. Secret Service, are teaming up with local police to ensure a safe Seattle World Cup. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake has more.
The U.S. Coast Guard, FEMA, and the FBI are just a few of the agencies joining Seattle Police and Fire and the King County Sheriff's Department in ensuring World Cup security.
This is kind of unprecedented.
Trent Heinrichs is U.S. Secret Service Special Agent in charge of the Seattle Field Office.
No, it's basically a Super Bowl every match day.
Heinrichs says when World Cup play opens in Seattle next Monday, fans will see enhanced security measures.
So magnetometers, canines, robust air security.
Specifically means no drones. Such devices are banned from the airspace above Lumen Field. In the Stadium District, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
Local leaders say they are not satisfied with the plans to fix the King County Regional Homelessness Authority. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery has that update.
Both Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson and King County Executive Gurmai Zahalai agree with an independent analysis that reform plans are falling short. So the two governments are putting an independent financial team inside KCRHA starting this month. All this comes after an audit revealed $13 million in public funds unaccounted for and weak internal controls. Both Seattle and King County have set an August 1st deadline to decide that agency's future. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
And now to your forecast on this soggy Monday. We'll see rain this afternoon, turning to light showers overnight. Tomorrow, sun breaks and then drying out for the rest of the week. Right now, 61 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour left to go. Hold on to your butts. Here we go. We got a lot of great stuff to get to. I just saw this clip, Spike. I had not played this for you. I wasn't trying to hide it from you before we got on the air. So don't think of this as me trying to throw a fastball at you or a changeup or a slider.
You're not sandbagging me.
I'm not sandbagging you.
Fair enough.
I'm interested in your take on this.
Okay.
I just saw this. This was, I believe this was over the weekend. This was Katie Wilson, Mayor Katie Wilson in Seattle, at the opening of the Interbay Tiny House Village, 75 units. Did you see this?
No, but I was this Saturday night while they were having a peace march up in North Seattle?
Well, it's definitely not nighttime. It's bright and sunny.
Okay.
So, yeah,
maybe it was a scheduling conflict.
She definitely
couldn't be up in North Seattle.
Yeah, she definitely could have gotten to the.
She was there at the ribbon cutting for the tiny village, huh?
So I'm going to read you some of the numbers, how much they spent on this, but I'm going to first play you a clip. KIRO TV was there, and they asked Katie Wilson some questions about who's going to be at these little tiny shelter units, and you decide whether or not you think this is a good use of public dollars and whether you think it's going to be successful.
Great.
So let me play you this clip. This is Katie Wilson talking to KIRO TV. Here we go.
There are thousands of people sleeping unsheltered on our streets. Yes, we are failing. We are failing. Collectively, we are failing.
The mayor says the shelter will also offer health services, including drug treatment, which will be encouraged but not mandated.
Recovery is really complicated and difficult, and so we're not demanding that people be, abstinent when they enter this village.
So it's a no barrier. Right. They don't have to be abstinent.
Right. Yeah, that's in keeping with the mayor's philosophy on the whole problem.
Yeah, it's consistent with a bad idea. Yeah. She's upholding her bad ideas.
She's digging her heels in.
But here's the thing. I saw the pictures of these little units.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice looking now, before anybody's in them.
Sure.
Very nice looking. But I was at this wedding over the weekend, and these are people who are not living. I mean, some of them might. I mean, like this was a firefighter wedding, so they're seeing a lot of these people. They're responding to a lot of calls, and it was firefighters from a very big city. responding to a lot of these homeless and a lot of these are Narcan calls. That's what they're getting a lot. It's like you're spending your time as a firefighter. You grow up dreaming about running into the fire and saving somebody from a burning building.
Right.
And in reality, you're actually just handing out Narcan all day, which is a really strange reality for somebody who dreams of being a firefighter.
Yeah, it's not what you dreamed of, trained for, expected.
Yeah. You think you're
going
to be
standing
harsh
there,
reality,
yes.
looking ripped, great mustache, saving cats and old ladies.
Accidents happen, fires break out. No one expects it. It's not like, it'd be like, I live in Arson Town.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a firefighter in Arson Town. These guys start their own fires every single day.
Yes.
But I'm going to be there anyway.
Okay, so a big topic of the conversation was the policies that are leading to the majority of what they're spending their time doing, which is responding to drug calls. That cannot be fun for firefighters.
I can't imagine.
And it is got to be kind of demoralizing when you think about like how much longer is this going to be a part of your career where every day you have to see this part of society, which is like the saddest, most forgotten, totally neglected, left behind, memory hold part of society, who are addicted to these horrible things that cannot come out of it on their own. And then the city says, hey, you know what we're going to do? Let's build you a little shelter. You can just go in there and do as much drugs as you want. Here's the cost of each one of these things. These are 70 square feet, sleeper unit. They refer to them as like a pallet shelter because they're about the size of it.
Yeah, 7 by 10.
7 by 10. $16,000 a unit. And the estimate for the site for these 75 units, they say, is around $2.1 million for the initial setup. And then annually for the residents, per resident, it's going to be about $2,200 per resident. That's a lot of money for somebody to sit in a tiny little hovel and to do drugs. And by the city's own estimate, they say about 80% of the people they're dealing with are severely addicted to drugs.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, how do you continue? That's not a big win. The fact that you got 75 up. When you know what we've seen the We know what the
need is. Yeah, we know what the need is. We know what the reality is of these environments once they're given access.
Once they're filled up.
Once they're not on the street, which is, that's the upside here. It's the only upside here is they're not on the street. And we offer these services. We always say it's going to take a multifaceted approach to fix this problem. It's not just getting people off the streets with a safe place to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's also addressing the mental health crisis and the addiction crisis in the city. And services offered but not required is,
let's require it. Let's require it.
We keep going back to that same, this is what got us here. It's the same tune we're dancing to.
Yeah.
And how long can this facility, you said, get a good picture of it in the before state because the after state's coming pretty quick.
Yeah.
When 80% are seriously addicted to whatever they're on. And, as a recovering addict myself, one of the tenets of recovery is attraction, not promotion. That's because they always say people are going to get clean and sober when they're ready to get clean and sober. You hope that, the attraction of seeing other people in a tiny village who aren't throwing their lives away, who are, having a safe place to sleep and maybe, getting their act together. And
getting a job and
getting
leaving.
a job, right, moving in the right direction. That's the attraction you hope will work.
The problem is, what if they're seeing the opposite?
You just read my mind.
What if the majority of what they're seeing...
Yeah. What you're going to see more of is people, continuing to head in the wrong direction.
It's like reinforcement of bad things.
Yeah, you're making it a safe place to do drugs, a safe place to feel your mental illness or live with your mental illness.
Yes.
And I get that it's safer for and not just for those residents, for the community at large. One of the reasons we invest in these is to get people off the front of off our streets corners, off the front entryway of buildings and businesses. But you gotta make people sometimes. Some people aren't ready. I keep pointing to Charlie Harker's piece about the city of San Francisco and the mayor there who took a more stick, less carrot approach.
Yep.
And the turnaround has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
And from a political perspective, Republicans can't really point to San Francisco as the cautionary tale when you're running for elections anymore because that mayor has made the numbers work. The homeless population in San Francisco has been halved since this mayor just decided to make people accountable. If you want the services...
I think Republicans would be smart to point to San Francisco and say, look, they took a more moderate approach and they're cleaning up their city.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to show anything the other side's doing good things.
No, I'm happy to highlight when they're doing good things.
You're a guy. You're a common sense guy. You're
I don't care. I don't care what somebody's...
You're not trying to win a political fight.
No, I'm not trying to win a fight. What I would love to see is less people doing stupid things on the streets and safer places for my family to be.
You and me both. Yeah.
So I think that's the thing. It was interesting because I'm talking with all these firefighters and one of them asked me, he goes, how are you guys picking topics for the show? He listens to the show and he likes the show. He goes, how are you guys picking topics for the show? And I was like, here's the honest answer. I first look up anything that they're doing in Seattle because to everybody else, it will just seem crazy. So we'll just kind of like cherry pick the crazy things that Seattle's doing and we'll highlight it, not even as a means to like make fun. We're just like, we're going to lay it there at your feet. And we can all just stand back and go like, what in the hell are they doing?
And we try to pick topics that you're gonna see a story through your car windshield, or you're gonna see something we talk about through the window of your house.
Yeah.
You're gonna look out your window in your neighborhood. You're gonna see this stuff. You're gonna go downtown to shop or to go to a restaurant or take your kids to a theater or a park, and you're gonna see this stuff. So we want you to know what the backstory is and what the city's trying to do about it, because we deserve better.
Here's a question for you. If I gave you $16,000, could you build something nicer than a 70 square foot, like very, very empty blank sleeper? 16 grand.
Yeah, I thought about that number but that's electrified, that's insulated. It's not like a tool shed.
No, I understand.
But especially when you're building them in bulk. You're building 75 of them. You're probably building 500 of them. We already have
70 square feet.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the tiny village concept. I think it's a great idea if it's managed correctly.
The city could partner with. I mean, no trailer company is going to want to be associated with these drug dens.
Mm-hmm.
But the city could partner with any local trailer supply place who sell, go to Camping World,
mm-hmm.
go to any of these places that have lots full of trailers. And you could find, and they're bigger than 70 square feet, and they're electrified, and they got bathrooms, and they got all this stuff, and they're easily movable, so you can get them on out of there as soon as you want. And you'd spend less than 16 grand per. You can get the little tiny ones, like you can get the little super lights.
They're called pods or something like that. Yeah. I know the ilk of those kind of little trailers. Except that, to your earlier point, get a before picture.
Yeah, yes.
These things got to be disposable essentially. Just because of what you're allowing inside.
Welcome to a future teardown facility.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Something that can be power washed is basically, I think, what they need to build.
Until we change, what we expect of people to rise up and move past this horrific point in their life.
Yeah.
If that's indeed what we want for them. If the problem is just to keep them off the streets, your point of building a camp in Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
Send them over there. Do whatever you want to do, I'm sure the dealers can find you on the third day of the month when the checks come out just as easy.
Well,
they're resourceful.
And that suggestion for anybody who doesn't know, I'm making the suggestion that you take the billions of dollars that they're currently spending on fighting homelessness, which is just getting worse, and instead invest it in like a state-of-the-art, great facility out on the east side of the state where you got land aplenty and vistas. When people see off in the distance, tell you what, life looks a little bit better.
Camp Sunrise.
Yes.
The first day of the rest of your life. Every day.
Yeah, you wake up every day, beautiful skies.
Job training,
all the different stuff.
Health triage, mental health triage.
Treat it like an Eagle Scout camp.
Exactly.
Yeah, teach them about love of country and your fellow man. Don't let them do drugs,
pick up a skill set. You want to talk about leading by attraction, not promotion.
Yeah.
And
do a campfire at night, but you're not like burning meth. Instead, it's s'mores. From meth to s'mores. That would be my slogan.
That's great.
And you know what?
Great.
You're telling like camp stories. I bet you got campfire stories around there. It'd be crazy.
Hey, I've sat in quite a few of those meetings over the years. The stories and the cautionary tales from your fellow campers.
Oh, it's
what keeps
dark.
you coming back. That's the
also
cautionary tale.
But it's encouragement.
It is.
Why does AA work? Because it encourages, one, you have to acknowledge that there's a higher power than yourself.
It's called surrender yourself. You
surrender yourself, and you're being encouraged by other people who are also heading down that same road, the one that you're just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The reinforcement from other people who are actually changing their lives.
Yep.
If you're shoving all these people into a long-forgotten corner in Inner Bay where they're just surrounded by
looking away,
drugs and all the destruction
dealers,
and bad life choices and dealers and all that stuff, the odds of somebody coming out of there and picking themselves up by their bootstraps and coming out of there somehow clean and healthy, it's certainly not a housing issue. And I don't think they're gonna get that and go like, hey, you know what? I finally got a launch pad to success. But I do think if you did what you're suggesting, or we're kind of both suggesting, send them to a camp somewhere where they can like breathe clean air.
And not just out of sight.
Yes.
Where resources are more plentiful, where the land it sits on is a lot more affordable than what we're doing here in the city of Seattle.
You know what they should do?
Where there's not a daycare or a children's early learning center 500 yards from the camp.
Do you remember Mr. Smith Goes to Washington?
Of course I do. Jeb Smith.
When he's proposing the boys' camp?
Yep.
And he's talking about, get them out of these cities and let them breathe the fresh air and let them, see what's so amazing about this country.
Yeah,
just do the same thing for these drug addicts. I really think it'll give them a chance. And I'm not even being facetious.
No. We hadn't been able to turn our attention to California's primary election.
Yeah.
And Spencer Pratt, who in the late vote returns has fallen out of a top 2 position currently.
Yeah, he's not going to win.
That was one of his main tenets when he's talking about dealing with the homeless situation in California. He had the exact same idea. Build camps outside of these major cities.
Sure.
And give these folks the tools to be better citizens and have better lives.
You're not even being cruel. You're being kind, because you're not going to send them to jail. You're going to say, hey, we're going to send you to a beautiful camp. You could even sleep in, there's a camp we go to in Montana every summer, and they offer a traditional, you can sleep in a teepee.
Nice.
It's the coolest thing in the world. Kids love it. You're telling me somebody who's severely addicted to drugs wouldn't want to wake up in a beautiful environment, in a beautiful teepee?
Would you rather be next to the train tracks in Ballard in a 70-square-foot little room?
Yeah. With somebody doing meth right next to you, or fentanyl.
One house over.
Ugh, depressing.
Dealer comes by at 4.
That's awful.
Sorry, but
it's awful. But that's what's happening.
Well, when incarceration is now on the table as a more humane solution to this problem, is maybe we need to put them in jail till they sober up. When that's an option on the table, how is Camp Wonderful across the mountains a bad idea?
Perfect name for it. That's what I would call it. I would call it Camp Wonderful. And you know what? You could get sponsors. Here's the thing: if you were smart, and you and I are, but if somebody in government were smart in Washington, you could get corporate sponsors to make sure that these people are, so you don't even have to pay for it. I guarantee you, corporations would line up around the block to be able to say that they help fix the homeless problem in King County.
Go ahead.
You get a big corporation like Microsoft. You get a big corporation that wants to put a friendly face on, like an Amazon or whoever it is that might even have some bad press.
I know local unions are dying for recruits. The trades are so thirsty.
There you go.
For trainable people.
And then you go out there and you start these classes.
Yeah.
You ever watch
plumbing, pipe fitting, sheet metal work, whatever you want.
There you go.
Whatever trade you want. They help sponsor the camp. You got people, fresh, clean, sober,
ready to
trainees.
go.
Here we go.
We've just solved the homeless problem. And that took us only 15, 20 minutes.
Well, that's because the coffee's free here. We got the fuel, buddy.
It was a heavy price we paid for this coffee. No, I think we solved it. I think let's suggest this to the people.
They should put this on the table.
Yes.
Your Honor, you're in a what do you call a vein of common sense.
Yep.
We've hit a vein here. I've been watching a lot of Landman.
Do you think
when
companies
you hit a vein?
That's right.
You keep going.
You chase it.
Right. You go right down this line. 6 wells right down this line right here.
And every one of them hit. He's 6 for 6, kids.
Right.
Do you think companies would line up to sponsor something like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
To say that they were part of the solution that fixed the homeless problem in King County?
Absolutely, they would.
I think they would.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of 5 right now that would donate money to something like this. I'm not going to put them on blast, but I guarantee you they would. And it would.
Hey, but before you leave town, what if we give you want a tax break? We'll give you a tax break. Here's what you do.
There you go.
Here's what you do. We're solving 2 birds with 1 stone.
100%. Yeah. Cleaning up the city, making it better. I like it.
Giving these industries a good public image.
Yep.
Good PR campaign. Nice tax deduction.
Speaking of bad PR, street preachers. Did you see the Seattle Times piece?
Saw the Seattle Times piece. I've seen these guys in firsthand.
What did you think about this? They're basically the piece talks about how these street preachers who are down. You see them at T-Mobile, outside T-Mobile. You see them outside of Lumen Field.
Yeah, they're always down.
Anywhere big crowds.
If you get a concert at Climate Pledge, they're going to be there too because they want a captive audience, folks waiting to get into events.
Yeah. In fact, Seattle Times spoke to one of these guys who preaches for a place called Gospel Invasion Ministries. He says it's an incredible opportunity. God puts us where we're supposed to be, and you're surrounded by all these people who are waiting in lines, and they're looking ahead at all of the possible fans coming into town for World Cup and saying hey, what a great opportunity to, share more of our message. Rob Saka, Seattle City Council member who represents the Stadium District, he says, we're about to welcome the world and this is what they'll see. Obviously, he's not happy about the street preachers.
Well,
it's a tricky gray area though, because you can't step on somebody's
there's a free speech issue at play here,
rights.
But there's also God didn't need a bullhorn. I'm just saying. If these guys want to be down there with their message and they want to be down there talking and engage people in the line, that's fine. The problem with the street preachers that I have, and the city has itself, because they've often talked about the decibel levels.
The
that
noise
these
ordinance
guys,
things?
Yeah. These guys have megaphone amplified sound.
Sure.
And it's one thing when you can choose to be engaging with these street preachers, or if you want to, if the thing is they walk up and down these lines where people are required to be if they want to get into the ball game. Everybody queues up, get into an entrance to a football or a baseball game.
So you're kind of a captive audience.
You're a captive audience, and they are standing right next to people. And I get it, they want to spread the word, but they're amplified beyond acceptable decibel levels of city ordinances.
I could see both sides of this. I mean, it's a tricky area because you don't want to stop somebody from, what they have the right to do. No, but you also don't want to infringe on somebody else's right with
they
your
have the right
ear
to preach.
shattering.
Rob Sack is talking about, we have people of different religious beliefs coming to town. And we've got this Christian-based organization. That's a whole different issue.
That's a bad argument.
I don't. You're right. That one I don't give. If they don't want to hear about the word of his God, that's fine.
He's not going to win on that argument. The best thing they can push is the decibel.
The 85 to 100 decibels that these guys are using amplified messaging.
Yeah.
In the ears of a captive audience. You can't turn away from these guys. You can't choose not to engage. They camp out next to a guy in line with his kids. I've seen fathers with kids
putting your hands over the ears.
It's like you're taking a kid to a NASCAR. You got to put earmuffs on the kids for the preacher in the line.
And we're like a Christian house. Like we're very friendly to the message.
It's not the message, just the volume.
It's the volume. I'm just like, listen, can you just point your speaker up? I mean, I know that you're trying to talk to us down here, and you don't need to be preaching to the heavens.
And they ask these guys with their amplification to keep a distance from the lines, and they don't do that.
It is very loud. It is very loud. So I understand.
It's not what you're saying.
All sides.
Screaming "I love you" is never. It hurts my ears.
Still very loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. I totally get it. All right. We got a lot more coming up. Should we get into a little bit of that? What's going on in L.A. and with the voting stuff? There's allegations of voter fraud, but is there voter fraud?
Right.
Can we do something fun? Can we do a Spike's Court when we get back?
Of course.
Can I present you with some stuff, and then you can make a decision as if you are a Supreme Court justice. You're wrapped in black robes. You're going to have a gavel and everything.
Okay.
You'll make a decision, and then we have to go by it.
Okay. I'd love to.
All right.
Give me the gavel.
Spike's Court when we come back. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer means that I have a laundry list of exterior home improvements that I have to tackle and very little time to do it. Fortunately, the team in the red van has me covered. Of course, I'm talking about Valentine Roofing, the pros that keep me off extension ladders and precarious positions. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof or siding or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. Once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025, and it comes down to 2 things. They have the best product, which is backed by a lifetime warranty, and they have exceptional customer service, which they call the Valentine Experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down, 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. So call 206 Roofing today. Schedule your free estimate. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. compliance. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care? A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Fed up with sex and drug trafficking on Aurora Avenue, neighbors staged a late-night weekend march. KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake has the story.
The march to protest gun violence and street prostitution started at 9 p.m. Saturday, preceded by fiery speeches, including this one from Jake, who has become a spokesman for Aurora safety activism.
Today, I'm marching with you to make sure that no one has to experience what my family experienced a couple weeks ago. When a pimp shootout right across the street from my house put bullets into my home.
Sound courtesy of political group the Seattle 36ers. The marchers say they'd like to see Seattle hire more than 1,200 police officers by year's end. Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
Hotel workers near Lumen Field are threatening to walk off the job days before the first FIFA World Cup match arrives in Seattle. Employees at the Embassy Suites voted to authorize that strike last week. Front desk agent Hayden Irely says workers are struggling with rising costs.
Every time that they do come back to the table, it's more of an insult. Every time they just decide to kick another dime at us. So now they're actually starting to take us a little bit more seriously now that they are aware that this is happening.
Hotel spokesperson says the company is bargaining in good faith and has contingency plans if a strike happens. Irely says the union is seeking $3 annual raises over 2 years, plus year-round health care and stronger staffing. Boeing says the company will start bringing 737 MAX planes on its new assembly line in Everett starting July 6th. CEO Kelly Ortberg tells CNBC.
We've made sure that we're not moving until the production system is stable. We're not pushing work down the production line like we were before.
And right now, Boeing is building 47 MAX jets per month. The goal is 52 per month sometime next year. The company has been slowly ramping up production since the FAA put a cap on it after that door plug blowouts. And Costco is pushing back against a proposed class action lawsuit targeting its $5 rotisserie chicken. 2 California customers claim the chicken contains additives despite being advertised as having no preservatives. Seattle Times reports Costco says those claims are fatally flawed. arguing federal regulators do not classify these additives as preservatives. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:33. We check in with Lori.
Southbound I-5 a little slow into downtown Seattle. We had an earlier accident at Mercer. Southbound 405 slows from Northeast 8th all the way to Renton, and then you're going to see a northbound slowdown from Talbot Road all the way through Newcastle. Southbound I-5, you're going to see a little bit of heavy traffic. This is from about 18 through 5 before you get to the T-Dome is when it finally lets up. And then both directions of I-5 slow between 16 and 512. Southbound I-5 to 26th Street in Tacoma, the ramp is closed. And 167, pretty heavy from Pacific all the way through Sumner. Traffic is brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Rain for this afternoon, cloudy skies. Tomorrow, some spotty showers in the morning, turning to sun breaks. Right now, 62 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is going to be a fun one. We, Spike, have been talking recently of all this buildup to the L.A. mayoral race because there was a lot of stuff on social media about Spencer Pratt, who drew a lot of attention. He's definitely an outsider to politics. He is a former reality TV star. Then his house got burnt down, and then he jumped into the race for L.A. mayor.
The mayoral race, yeah.
And it looked, going into Election Day, like it was going to be a runoff between, they have a two-tier system there, or a top two system in California. So it looked like it was going to be a runoff between Karen Bass and Spencer Pratt, with a third place, like kind of a distant third place, actually, on Election Day at least. City Councilwoman Nithya Raman, who is a Democratic socialist, and she was in third place. And I saw what looked like kind of a concession speech from her, where it kind of ended in tears, but happiness now, because she has a bunch of mail-in ballots that came in, and she has now overtaken Spencer Pratt, and it looks like it's going to be a runoff in November between Karen Bass and Nithya Raman. And there are now folks out there who are saying, like, hey, this is clear evidence of election fraud happening right in front of us, and people are getting pretty amped up about it.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And this is a little. They're even flying in ballots in helicopters, so they're trying to keep the ballots safe. Here's a little bit of that.
You can see the choppers landing right now. We're standing.
I think this was a local ABC affiliate in LA. I'm not sure which one it was. I apologize, but I think it might be.
The parking lot of the LA County Registrar's Ballot Processing Center. They land right here in the middle, and then you see workers. They're standing by to pick up those ballots and take them inside. They're picking up ballots from 8 cities, including Lancaster, Santa Clarita, Palmdale, Lakewood, Santa Monica, Van Nuys, Pomona, and Torrance. While most ballots are transported by vehicle, election officials use helicopters to bring in ballots from some of the county's farthest vote centers.
Okay, so it boiled over into a very contentious Meet the Press interview. President Trump, who backed Pratt. Now, I don't think this was why he stormed off this interview. I mean, it was kind of like tensions were building up between the two of them in the interview.
It was a contentious interview between the president and Kristen Welker.
But yes, but still not a gracious exit on Trump's behalf.
No. He got, I've seen people say, if you haven't seen the video of the interview, you should watch it.
It's interesting.
I've seen people commenting, clearly, is it ABC? Meet the Press?
NBC.
Yeah. Clearly, NBC is affecting the filters they're using. The president does. This isn't the president's actual color. I mean, he got so red-faced. He got so fired up, President Trump did, with the line of questioning from Welker, that they're saying, no, they're changing his appearance. They're changing his look in post.
Well, here's a little bit of Trump ending the interview with Kristen Welker on NBC, and then we can talk. I'm gonna make a case for you about this. These election fraud.
Sure, yeah.
It's more about like ballot harvesting and less about election fraud, but ballot harvesting. I just want to run some stuff by you as a Supreme Court justice, which people don't realize this, but you are in your spare time.
I dabble.
You dabble in it. Yeah, you've got a robe, you've got a gavel, and occasionally I will make arguments.
To put the wig on, man. That powdered wig.
Yes.
Got it one Halloween, just can't shake it. It's a feeling of power.
I thought that was only for barristers. Is that for judges too?
I use it everywhere.
Okay.
Try it on sometime.
Women love it.
It's addicting.
Here's Trump in a little bit of that NBC interview.
What they did to the lives of people, they destroyed people. They sent people to jail who did nothing wrong.
All right, just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what you're saying. But let
There's
me
a
ask
lot
you
of
about
evidence.
Todd Blanche. Let me ask you about Todd Blanche.
Listen to me.
Let's talk
There's
about Todd
tremendous evidence. There's nothing
Well,
but
it's not been
evidence. The
presented
election
in a
was
court of
rigged.
law.
It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now
you've
in
never
California.
presented evidence
It's happening
that the
right
2020
now in
election
California.
was rigged.
Right now, look at what's
Where's
happening
the
in
evidence
California.
to that?
It's
The
4
Republicans
days.
are doing well in
California.
They're not.
No, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close to coming up with it.
That's how they count
You know
the
why they're
votes in
doing that?
California.
Because they're cheating on the election.
Do you have evidence to support
All I
that?
have to do is look. You're either crooked or you're stupid. You play
continue.
right into their hands with your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked,
Mr.
and so
President-
is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But, Mr. President-
You're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits.
He definitely doesn't pull any punches when he's giving these interviews, which I will say, is it super presidential? No.
Presidential.
Is it entertaining? Yes.
Well, I don't want entertaining from the president. Is it rational? Is it? I mean, they started talking obviously about the January 6th because Walker asked President Trump about the anti-weaponization fund.
Sure.
To put it in the most kindest terms, and then he started talking about the J6, people persecuted, put in jail for up to 2 years, lives ruined, without not even committing any crimes. She's like, well, there's no evidence of that because there's a lot of different variations of who was in jail from January 6th. Some people were very violent. Some people were less so. But
let me ask you this real fast. Just so we can get, I want to get your decision on LA.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
All right. So there are a lot of people who are saying like, man, the way that they count votes in California seems kind of crazy. Is there no way that they could make that a faster system so that people feel like maybe it's a little more dependable? It does take a long time. And we talked about this last week. You know, there are countries of much larger size that count their ballots in hours, where California has 37 days to certify these things. Anyway, let me throw some stuff at you. And again, this is Spike's Court, so you're going to have a gavel at the end of this. And you're going to make your decision. The controversy of what people are really talking about here is ballot harvesting. Do you know much about ballot harvesting?
Ballot harvesting is where they allow one person to collect ballots from
third-party ballot
numerous locations to bring them to a central ballot tabulation area.
So prior to 2013, and I want to just get your take on this as a judge, prior to 2013, you had to either be severely ill or a disabled person for somebody else to return your ballot, and that person had to be a family member or a household member in order to do that, because they figured that the chain of custody for people who are very close to you could be relied upon.
Right.
In 2016, they introduced a new bill in California which changed those rules, which basically meant that anybody who wanted to go out and collect ballots in unlimited amounts had the ability to do so. Okay, so that is one issue that people are talking about with ballot harvesting, which seems like, how can you protect the chain of custody to make sure that these things are fair? So that would be one question that people would have. Also, people are not able to be paid for collecting ballots. They can't be paid per ballot, but they can be paid for the act of collecting ballots, which is a confusing gray area, but whatever.
Well, I mean, there's no incentive to gather hundreds of ballots. If you're going to be an hourly or a flat rate contracted person who's being hired to harvest ballots, then I understand the differential between the two.
Yes. Okay, so here's my question for you. Here's what they require for people to do these ballots, because Nithya Raman just collected something on the order of over 40,000 ballots from a very specific area. Do you know Skid Row in California, in LA? You've heard of it?
I've heard of Skid Row, the concept created here in Seattle, by the way.
Was it really?
Yeah, the hills, the hills from from what is, I guess now, Capitol Hill. There was the Yesler steam-driven wood mill at the waterfront down there, and the slope was so severe
they would
slide the roads, the logs down from the eastern Washington, from over in the east. They bring logs in, skid them down Skid Row, which was Yesler Way, to the wood mill at the waterfront.
So how did it become?
We invented Skid Row.
How did it become synonymous with
homeless,
lost people?
It was mud, wetty, destroyed, and the people who drank too much, that's where they ended up. Was there.
Funny. I didn't know that.
That's where Skid Row. But I digress.
Okay, so here's what they allow in California. If you were one of these ballot harvesting people, you can go into a place like Skid Row.
Mm-hmm.
You can get these people to register to vote.
Same day registration on
You
election
can
day?
help them register to vote.
Okay.
You then can bring those ballots in massive batches.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody who wants to sign, let's say you're a new voter in California
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have an address, you're allowed to list something like a park as your address. Does that seem confusing to you?
That doesn't seem valid at all.
That's a totally valid thing they can do. You can list something like a park as an address. You can also, if I'm going to give you the acceptable forms of ID that you can list to verify your identity for the right to vote in California. This is from the California State Secretary of State website. A gym membership can be used. So let's say you sign up for a gym, which I assume they don't have a huge, giant
They'll take anybody's money.
background.
Yeah.
So you can use a gym membership. You can also use insurance identification cards. You can use a prescription pill bottle as identification to get signed up to vote in California. Do those things as a judge sound confusing to you?
They sound, that's confusing and it sounds unsecure.
Okay, so that is the question that people are having. They're saying, why can't we secure up some? But they're not saying that necessarily anything's illegal going on, because these are the current rules and regulations in California. So these are the legal methods.
Yeah.
I think people are concerned saying, hey, what if instead we tightened up some of these things which we can all agree are kind of ridiculous, like a gym membership?
Yeah, I can agree that that's a too loose of a system to guarantee security.
There we go.
Except that someone is saying that leads to fraud. The President of the United States is saying that, said on network television.
Do you think
it's because you cheat?
Let me ask you this question.
That's a bridge too far.
But does a gym membership feel to you like a secure enough ID to register to vote? And again, in California,
no, it does not.
In California, you're not required to show ID. If you show up to a polling place, you don't require to show ID. If you're a mail-in voting or you are a new voter, you do have to show some form of ID, which can be, again, one of these ridiculously low-level things.
That seems insecure.
And it would seem to me, again,
unsecure, not insecure. I mean, I'm sure they're wholeheartedly believing they
want
to vote.
I think that's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah.
If you're giving gym memberships to people who are, say, not legal residents of the state, and yet they're able to get registered to vote,
that's a problem.
Could that be a problem?
Totally, it's a
So
problem.
what's the decision from Spike? What's Judge Spike rule on this?
That it's time to tighten up the rules of voting in the state of California.
I love it.
But I also
middle of the road.
But I will say, as part of my final decisions here, that doesn't prove fraud or cheating.
Sure. No, they're operating under the system that's in place right now.
Yeah.
All right. I agree to your decision.
There you go.
Yep. All right, we got a lot more coming up.
Beer
Text
time.
messages
Beer
next.
30.
We'll be right back.
Sports adjourned.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
In the great Northwest, thank you very much. In the great Northwest, is the rainy season ever really behind us, completely behind us? Why don't you give my friends at Integrity Roofing and Construction a call today and have them give you a free video inspection, a roof assessment. Find out how your home did during the last rainy season. And if you need some help or a repair or a complete roof replacement, full renovation, they could do it all at Integrity Roofing and Construction. Go to the website, integrityrc.com. Check out the literally hundreds of glowing reviews from their customers, of which I am one. Or give them a call right now at 206-202-ROOF, online at integrityrc.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18-month 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got text messages, lots of them, so we're just going to dive right in. Laura, go for it.
On how to solve drug addiction and homelessness, tiny home villages, Fernando in Seattle says maybe you two should go tour the new tiny village before trashing it.
Fernando, no need. I've seen pictures. I understand what you're saying. I like you, Fernando. You text a lot to the show, and I thank you for that.
And I'm a proponent of tiny villages. I've said it numerous times, but when you see the video evidence of Andrea Suarez of We Heart Seattle has shown
what they turn into.
Yeah.
it's not without some rules and regs, man.
Yeah.
425 says, should we suggest to our mayor and governor that an earwax check may cure our budgetary problems? I got to say, I can hear clearly now the wax is gone.
That's pretty funny. 206 says, you're never going to solve this problem if you keep calling it a homeless problem. Giving them drug dens will not keep them off the street. They'll be in there getting sleep and doing drugs, and then they'll be back on the street.
And Zig says, I used to sell pallet shelters hardware until recently. They're made from non-organic material, are fire rated, and yes, you can pressure wash them. They also break down easily so they can be moved. The walls and ceiling are insulated. Wood sheds are organic, and he gave a more graphic description of this, but harder to clean up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey. On camps for the homeless, 253 says, I think the issue is the word camp has a pretty negative stigma when talking about adults. I can see his point. We look at it like, a positive solution.
We're talking about like summer camp.
Summer camps. He's,
I get there. I just, fine, call it a getaway.
Just get away.
360, partner with a community college or private school and use building drug houses as an opportunity to teach some usable skills. Oh, like to get some work actually building things.
Okay, yeah. David in the 206 says, take the money we pay in taxes and send them to camp. Go pick apples, strawberries, pick them up early, 4 a.m. Bring them back after a long day's work. They'll appreciate it. This would be like therapy, exercise, positive feelings about oneself. They will be so tired after working, there'll be no interest in trying to go out to do drugs. Just sleep and get ready for the next day's adventure. Thanks again for your show.
Thank you, David. That's nice. That is a really, there's a quote from, I grew up watching Little House on the Prairie.
Mm-hmm.
Love that show. Still love that show. If you just want to introduce positive values to your family, just put that show on for a little bit. But Charles Ingalls, in one of the episodes, he talks about, he goes, God put sweat in a man's body so that he knows that after a long day that he's done a good hard day's work, and it makes him feel good, and he knows he's actually done something. I do think there is something to what David's saying. You go out and you work hard, you build confidence in yourself because you've gone and accomplished something. You feel value. And if you're just sitting around all day in a free house, eating free food, doing free drugs given to you by the city for free, there's no confidence building there. You're just going to actually feel worse about yourself. So I like David's points. I think he's making a lot of good ones.
On Street Preachers, Arter in Kent says, I bet now, Spike, you're regretting getting rid of that earwax when talking about the Street Preachers.
Well, I can't go to a game for another 2 weeks. My doctor told me.
Until your earwax build back up?
I get more earwax build up. Don't go near the entrance, the home plate entrance.
That's pretty funny.
Jamestown in Eastlake says, aren't they setting up security in such a way that, it starts at the back at the end of the parking lots, so a preacher is going to have much harder time being remotely close to the field itself during this period of time, and it's starting next week. I don't know about the logistical dynamics of how close someone can get to a World Cup match. That's a good question.
It's a good question. All right, thank you guys so much for hanging with us today. We got started off on a great foot for Monday. We'll be back here tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Lumen Field on Seahawks game days is your key to unlocking premium hospitality, views, and experiences. Host a memorable event in your own private game day suite. Or see an up-close, unique perspective from sideline and end zone field seats. To learn more about all the ways you can elevate your Seahawks game day at Lumen Field, visit Seahawks.com/premium.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest